It is November 14th, and it is at Sean Latham's birthday. Normally, Tuesday shows are a rundown of the weekend, a little chit-chatter about topical. Let's get topical, I say. But this Tuesday is going to be a great time. We're going to chat about all things around the world. We're going to celebrate this guy who's half Mexican from Los Angeles' birthday. 39 years he's been living at Sean Latham, $20 chef. And I'll tell you what, after watching TV, there's one commercial, like when Apple came out and it was the Are You Down song, I was like, damn, that's a banger. Good for you, Apple. Acura, they did it. You see this Acura commercial?
Yeah. This track is amazing.
Amazing. It's like, I ain't never heard or thought of getting an Acura in my whole goddamn life. You know? I ain't getting an Acura. You know? I ain't whipping one. Ever.
You weren't about that.
I wasn't about Acuras.
No.
I don't even know where they're from. Are they from America?
I don't think
They're made by Honda.
So not from America.
Japanese model.
I enjoy driving American cars because I like American people making American things with American brains. I'm supporting the brand of America. But boy, I'll tell you what, I got in a Genesis last weekend, which is made by Kia, and that thing was riding smooth, which is a South Korean company, not far from our boy Jim. Jim Kong. Oh, Jimmy Kong. He's just one little wall away. You know? That shit's all about to end soon, it sounds like. Sounds like we're awfully close to that all ending soon, by the way. Oh, Trump said I would never call him fat. Subtweet at Jim Kong. Respect. Social media wars at an all-time high. And Jim Kong doesn't even have the internet. He doesn't even know that happened. So, I mean, it's an interesting world. But Acura, that commercial comes on. And I'm like, man, this is a fucking banger. I'm like, what is it?
Sounds like it'd be like a detective in the 70s kind of action scene.
I know you can feel that movement. So this is called The Movement by Kid Ink. And the picture on the album is actually of his hand covering his mouth. In his hand is an entire skeleton tattoo. It's an aggressive tattoo. You better hope your music is bangers because you ain't getting a regular job. It is Tuesday, November 14th. Sean Latham's birthday. He is here in studio. This is going to be a good one. Let's have some fun today. Hit the music.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. He was a high school All-American, a college All-American. He was All-Pro in the NFL, but the thing that he's most proud of is during his show in Muncie, Indiana, he made a woman in the crowd laugh so hard, she shit her pants. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat McAfee!
It feels good because that's Todd's intro for me whenever I'm going up onto a stand-up stage.
Yeah.
And then Black Betty hits, which is my intro song. Not only because Johnny Depp came walking out of that fucking airport like a boss in Blow, but also because my grandma's name was Betty. And my dad used to sing that song to her and she passed away. And I love that lady. So I'm like, everything's like, there's like real heart behind it. There's real meaning behind it. And Todd gives that intro right before it. It's just a magical moment that sends me up onto a stage with a bottle of not wine, because you're not allowed to have wine on some theaters.
Nope.
And then you just chug that bottle down and tell some stories. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy Todd's intro. That's a pretty ridiculous thing. How are you, Sean?
Man, I'm good. I'm doing great, feeling real good. 39 is here. I made it.
How do you feel? You're almost 40. Like, that's big, bro. Like, 40 is big, you know? That's over the hill, they say. But now, like the old school famous people, they started pushing it back like 50's the new 40. Just as they're getting older, they're like changing the game almost, which I think you're doing.
Yeah, I definitely 100% on my life do not feel like I am 365 days away from my 40th year.
One more trip around the sun, bro.
And that's it. And
well, they say the sea is rising. Well, that's all right with me, 'cause there ain't no other place than on the sea I'd rather be. And that second cometh coming, it's right around the bend. That someday could be any day this world is gonna end, and that's all right, and that's okay. There ain't nothing we can do about the whole thing anyways. It's a hang on kind of run. We're spinning through space and time, watching this big old rock, just trying to have some fun. So let's drink another beer Here's to another year. Let's take another crazy trip around the sun. That's what you just did.
It's a clean ass song.
That's Kenny Chesney.
It doesn't make.
By the way, I feel real fucking good about what just came out of my brain right there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
There was numerous times where I thought I was going to fuck it up. I was like, oh, we ain't got it. And then my brain just kept it going. I'm sure I missed a few there, but that song very much puts like a year in perspective the most to me, I think. Just one trip around the sun, cuz. One more and you're 40. You're officially over the hill. But
40 years old. I always think about my mom being 40 when I was a kid.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I'm almost 40. Like, oh, she's 40. But I'm going to be 40.
Yeah,
It
and your
doesn't
mom's
feel right.
thinking that too. Your mom's like, he's going to be 40. Like when I turned 30, my mom had a full moment, I think, with herself. Like she sent me a text that was like very emotional for me to wake up to that was like, that's me, I think.
Yikes, that ain't me.
That's me. I wonder what that email is. Is that an impressive or important email? Or is it spam that I'm going to unsubscribe to and feel so good about?
By the way, thanks for hitting me with that unsubscribe button. I didn't realize it was up
So
there.
nice. Bro, washing off chlamydia, washing off herpes. It's just ridding yourself of an email STD that has been showing up because you accidentally put your name on an emailing list years ago. And you have to go to a website and confirm it and okay it and answer a trivia question on why you want to unsubscribe. This might be Tim Cook's biggest thing he's done. The unsubscribe button at the top of the email.
Man.
That might be Tim
button.
Cook's most impressive thing he's ever done.
I need a button that I can unsubscribe from shit that I have randomly being paid monthly out of my account that I've lost track of.
Dude, I get charged for something that Apple just sends me a receipt for something. I'm like, when did I buy? What is this? I don't even think I've used that in the last. Apple should, and they never will because it's how they make money.
Yeah.
Just scraping those extra
3 months out of
cents off.
40 million people I just pay for an extra 3 months.
Yes. And they don't even think about sending you there has been no activity on blank app, which you are paying $6 for 5 months for. Do you think you want to quit this? No. It's just like they keep breaking it in.
Keep it moving. Another receipt.
Bro, it's very much like when the wrestling ring showed up at my house. Just random purchases just popping up in my email. Like, thank you. Here's your receipt for paying another $100 for some photo editing app that I've never used in my life. I'm like, who bought this? Who's using this? And how do I use this? I don't even know how to use this, Mr. Tim Cook. God damn it.
Motherfuckers.
Have you ever just purchased something and it just show up at your front driveway? And be
Not
like,
on your level.
It's on an 18-wheeler?
We
It's
had
on a
to-
fucking 18-wheeler?
We had a discussion the other day about it.
Where do you want me to put this thing?
But it's
What is it?
nothing compared to what you do. Goats and fucking wrestling rings. But also, like I said,
I make bad decisions.
I said this on ours. I don't have that. I haven't done that very often because I've never had that kind of money to where I'm okay of doing that. Like,
I agree.
so, I mean, the other day I woke up still buzzing my ass off on Saturday morning, bought a PlayStation. That's probably the drunkest thing I bought.
I'll tell you what, those hangover purchases, though, feel real good. You know? Like, sometimes I feel like I have my biggest moments of clarity in those hangover mornings because you give zero fucks about anything at that moment.
That's my best snaps. When I'm still buzzing from the night before, my best snaps. I wake up early. I get out in the fucking streets. I get snapping.
So before I did stand-up comedy, before I did it, I would tell stories with my friends, right? So I knew my comedy would be storytelling, and I did it with my friends. And I always realized when I was hungover, I crushed with my friends. I'm like, man, I am crushing right now. I don't know if it's because everybody's hungover. I don't know what it is. So like when I first started doing comedy, my thought was like, I got to get hungover now to get on stage. The show is at 8 o'clock tonight. Okay, so I got to get drunk by noon. Is that what it is? And then sleep, and then I'll be hungover. I was like trying to figure out if that was feasible, and it just wasn't. I wish I could do a show like 10:30 or 11 a.m. the next day after a big part, but it's hard to do. I don't know if we could schedule that.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one.
But boy, we would crush. Like hangover stories are the best stories.
Every snap I do when I'm still hammered the next day,
So much better.
so much better. I talk shit to people in the street, but in a fun way. I just get them involved in my snaps, just talking shit.
It's like a mushroom in Mario. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Like it just benefits everything. It's like Toradol. Like I talked to AJ Hawk on Laces Out show. He said he never took Toradol, which is a drug in the NFL that you get injected into you. It's basically like a super anti-inflammatory, and the entire NFL operates on it. The entire NFL. It's like a magical, but they have no clue what the long-term effects are. Nobody has a clue.
We don't got time for long-term effects around here, cuz.
We don't, because you don't know. They haven't had time to study it, right? So I tore my meniscus mid-season 2011, right? So I tore my meniscus. It was my first time I knew I was going to have to go in for surgery. We were 2-14 that year. I was on pace to break a lot of punting records. Like the most punts in a half I almost had, the most punts in a year. We were real bad. Like the stats that don't matter and that are not good at all, I almost had them. Like most punts in a year for a punter in the history of football. Like we were 2 quarters away from getting that. But I had a torn meniscus in my plant leg, right? So in my plant leg, I had a torn meniscus. So I didn't really know. Like it hurt like a motherfucker. So torn meniscus basically just like a mobility limiter. Like it just pops in there. So when you walk up steps, it catches you. It like feels like a stabbing pain. And Vinatieri was like, oh, you got to try Toradol, man. It's like a super anti-inflammatory. Like calm that thing down for a little bit. So I took it for the next game. And I was like, oh my God, like both knees feel good. Okay. The ankles all of a sudden. I didn't know my ankles hurt. I didn't know and now they're just feeling like ready to go. I was warmed up, ready to go. Bang, bang, bang. And I told Vinny, I was like, holy fuck, like this is incredible. He's like, yeah, it's people who do it whenever they're hurt or whatever. And I literally used it every single game. But from then on, I was like, this seems like an ingredient that is available to NFL players. If you were to tell a chef like yourself, hey, this one ingredient right here will make everything you cook better. All you got to do is just put it on. Would you use it?
I already do. It's called my towel. I throw it over my shoulder.
But it's like that, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's an ingredient, right, that NFL players are, if you're on the injury report or rehabbing something and you need an anti-inflammatory, you can use it. And it is fucking magical. I'm being 100% serious when I say that. I am not a big injection guy. I don't like shots. I don't enjoy it. I ain't even fuck with the flu shot. I know it's a hustle, and I don't think it's going to work, and I don't enjoy getting. But this Toradol drug is just something that is immaculate.
Does it work on sciatic nerves?
Sciatica, I think it can fix your old ass up a little bit. I think it could help. I honestly believe it helps with. It's just a super anti-inflammatory, and I have no clue what it's going to do to my body later in life. But I'm excited to see because I think it's almost worth it for what it did for me. Toradol is a magic drug, and a lot of people in the NFL use it. At least the old school. I don't know what the new guys. This new era of NFL players is a complete different animal. I'm not sure if they'll get into it, but goddamn, I used it and I enjoyed it. I don't even know what to tell you. I just really loved it.
I want to try some.
A lot of people wonder like if it makes you loopy or if it's anything like that. The first time I took it, I felt a little like. I was like, I don't know, but I don't know if it was because I was in euphoria for how good my whole body felt. Like I was like, it was a euphoric situation. By the way, learned that word last week when talking to Chris Ballard. He was absolutely awesome. He came in. He was supposed to come in a couple weeks ago. He was like, listen, I would love to come do an interview. I love the Barstool Sports, everything about Barstool Sports. He said, I'm a big fan of just everything you're doing. He said, I want to get in for to do a conversation with you. I said, cool, man. That was 2 weeks ago. He never responded. So I was like, okay, he just stood me up. No big deal. You know, Peyton Manning didn't even give me a chance like to stand me up. He just said no right to my face. Chris Ballard was like, at least he gave me a chance. And then I got a text that was like, hey, I completely forgot about our conversation. How are you on Friday? And I was like, perfect, let's go. So he came in. We had a great conversation with him, and he would refuse to speak into his microphone. I talk about it early in the conversation about how he needs to hold his microphone up to his face. So his mic sound is a little bit down, but I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation. I mean, there's only 32 dudes in the world that have his position. I mean, fantasy football is a gigantic thing. This guy does it for real. Like that's his real life job with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. And he's just a calm, cool Southern boy, just a Southern, calm, cool, collected guy. You know, my biggest mistake or regret. He was awesome, man. I think you're going to enjoy this conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, right before we play that, you're struggling to find the perfect gift for someone who has it all, aren't you? The holidays are fastly approaching. Ordering gifts for everyone on your list is easy. Now, with just one click of the mouse, I'm about to tell you about a deal that is so special that your mind is about to be blown. Your balls are about to be scratched. Your back is about to be tickled. Switch the last two. This Omaha Steaks deal is absolutely outrageous. Oh, I'm saying this with 100%. They sent me the ad read last week to read it for the holiday, send somebody meat. I'm like, you got an Omaha Steaks. And then I was reading through the ad. You actually watched my reaction whenever I read through everything that you can get for $49.99 for Omaha Steaks if you just go into the search code PAT You just enter Pat in the search bar. You will get all of this for $49.99. Are you ready, Sean?
I'm ready.
2 filet mignons, 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 kielbasa, 4 burgers, 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha steak seasoning packet, plus get 4 additional kielbasa sausages just for free. $49.99. That's called the
Jesus.
Family Gift Pack. Go to omahasteaks.com. Enter my code PAT in the search bar. 75% off that deal. I don't know how that isn't like 7,000% off. 2 fillets, 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 kielbasa sausages, plus 4 more kielbasa sausages. That's 8 sausages. 4 burgers, 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha steak seasoning packet, all for $49.99 when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter Pat in the search bar. Are you kidding me?
That's a ton of meat.
So much meat to the face for $49.99. That's outrageous.
I mean, that should be just for the 2 fillets and the 2 sirloins. Maybe and you
that
can
is
throw in-
1/8 of the things that you get for that.
not include the 8 kielbasa.
8 of them.
Now the au gratin.
Au gratin. What is that? I have no clue what the fuck that is, but I can't wait to get it because I ordered it. And alongside that 4 potatoes au gratin is 2 fillets, 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chickens, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 8 sausages, 4 burgers, 4 caramel apple tartlets, and 1 Omaha steak seasoning pack. You've got to be kidding me. This is just too good of a deal for you not to do it.
I'm going to do it right now. You mind if I pause?
Everybody, we don't pause here.
Okay, after the show, I'll do it.
I like that move. Good move out of you.
I was just excited. That's a lot of chicken and pork and steak. It's got the apple stuff.
Yeah, the apple stuff, the apple tartlets.
Tartlets.
I don't know what it is, but
Oh,
I know that
Jesus.
if it's apple and it's around Thanksgiving or Christmas, it tastes good. I do know that.
I've had those before. They're delicious.
Listen to that from the back row, Iowa, at Ty Schmidt, T-I-E. Schmidt saying, I've had the apple tartlets, delicious. Potato,
Au gratin.
what is it? How do you pronounce it?
Au gratin.
Who?
Au gratin.
Who?
Au gratin.
Potatoes au gratin. You get so much good stuff.
I mean, from being a $20 chef that I am,
what a deal.
I would load up. I'd double down for $99.99.
I don't think that's the exact math.
Well, it's close enough.
Yeah, I think so. You're right.
$99.90.
I don't know.
But I'm just
There
going to
has to be
say
an 8 in there because there's 9s adding up with 9. So there's an
Yeah.
8 somewhere in there.
It's
It's
in there.
like the 6 in the pi number.
I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say ring me up for $100. Keep the 13 cents.
Cause
And I'm gonna freeze some stuff. Your boy. That's a lot of food for $100.
That's like 10 $20 chef meals.
Yeah. Do the math.
what a fucking
I'm gonna
deal.
change the
I'm
name of
so
my
happy
show.
they chose to like sponsor on this show because I'm getting everybody meat. Everybody's getting my meat, bro. I'm sending meat all over the fucking family and friends list.
Meats.
Anyways, I meeted Chris Ballard last week. Here's the conversation. We rolled out the red carpet this morning for a living legend. There's only 32 members that hold the position he holds, and I am very honored to sit next to him. Normally, I've been called into the GM's office no more than 10 times, no less than 8 times. You name it, 9 times. Now the GM's walking into my office. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Ballard.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you're the Indianapolis Colts GM.
Yes, I am.
Your entire life, you wanted to be a general manager of an NFL team. Is that right?
That's right.
Now you are, speak into the microphone, Chris.
Oh,
Jesus.
sorry. You got a big mic. I thought I'd be able to hear.
Yeah, I do. You know. Yeah. All right. So you were a hot commodity in the scouting world, in the front office side of the world, and you chose to come to the Indianapolis Colts, basically. And now your first season, a little bit of a rocky start, a lot of drama. How would you describe your life as a GM?
Well, they say there's going to be 5 things come across your desk that you didn't expect, and they were wrong.
Okay.
Because it's about 25 things.
First one. What's the first one that like you were like, holy shit, I'm a GM in the NFL now?
So I just had my press conference, signed it was after I said yes to take the job. There is complete panic mode because Pat McAfee is going to retire.
What was it? That was the same day, wasn't it?
And then you go to the I said, give him to me. Just give him to me. Chuck's like, no, you don't want to. No. Jim says, I'm going to talk to him. And I said, and so then I'm waiting. I'm thinking it's going to be, 20 minutes. Next thing I know, 3 hours later.
Hour and 40-minute conversation. Me and Jim Irsay talked for an hour and 40 minutes. You're going to be a boss? That's crazy. It was one of my favorite conversations in my life, but that was the same day.
That was the first thing. Right away, right off the bat.
Hey, just a heads up, the punter, you might know him from Twitter or from his arrest record. But yeah, he's retiring. He's decided. That is interesting. I never even thought about it. Because the decision to retire came like so many months ahead of you. It just so happened to happen on the same fucking day.
It.
Well, it wasn't you that drove me out. As soon as that as soon as your press conference happened, they announced you. As I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not working for Chris Ballard.
I appreciate it. Just another hole to fill.
I'll tell you what, though. I got a chance to sit down with you, what was that, the next week, because I had to sign like an actual paper so that they wouldn't drug test me anymore to get me out of the drug testing program. It was great. It's been that paper that I signed has been the best one yet. But I got a chance to chat with you, and it was in the same office that I've been fined numerous times in. It was the same office that I talked to Bill Polian after a blacked out situation in Broad Ripple. And I had a conversation with you, and you were honestly one of the most on it guys. Like you were just, everything I asked, you were just ready to roll with. I was like, what are you going to do about your coaching situation? And you said, well, Chuck is still here. We're going to roll with him. We're going to try to teach him. We're going to try to learn him. We're going to try to see if he can fit our system. Is that still this kind of same thing?
Yeah.
Because every GM has a dream of bringing in their own guys.
Well, and look, head coaches are very difficult to find. Chuck's won a lot of games. So we continue to roll. It ain't going the way we want right now, but we got a lot of season left.
Jacoby Brissett's a hell of a player.
I don't think people realize what he's been able to do, bringing in last minute, changing complete offense, language, new personnel, not having thrown any of these wideouts. Tremendous kid, tremendous leader, everything you want.
He seems passionate. Like he rounded up I think it was like his second or third week on the team. He'd only been there for 17 to 20 days. And on the sideline, he had everybody in a circle. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He seems like he's got it.
No, he's got it. He's just a young player. He's 23 years old, second year in the league. And I just think that the potential he has, he'll continue to grow. And I think you see it week to week. He keeps getting better every week, and that's what you want to see. And even off of the Jacksonville week where he didn't have a good week, he didn't panic.
That was fucking ugly, by the way.
It was terrible. He came back and he worked, and every week he gets better.
Whenever he got signed here, I was reading some of the newspaper articles, and they were like, this Jacoby Brissett signing is for long-term plans, long-term thoughts. Now you're watching him play. I assume that there's a lot of people that are looking for a Jacoby. You're sitting on Andrew Luck, who's on IR, a lot of drama around that whole situation, and Jacoby Brissett. What is are you waiting until the offseason to kind of see what happens, or do you have a long-term plan for what you're going to do, or what? It's good to have an abundance of great quarterbacks, but I feel like you're sitting in that situation now.
Well, you can't have enough good quarterbacks.
Well, I was there. You lost me. Just 100% passer, 100% passer rating on Thanksgiving. Thank you very much. Gobble gobble.
Versus Pittsburgh.
0% completion percentage against the Dallas Cowboys, though. So it's one or the other. But you have two great quarterbacks.
Put you in the game. The one game they were going to put you in.
Steelers.
That's right.
Yeah. I would have died, Chris.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Chris, I would have died. James Harrison, have you ever seen any of his internet workout videos? All he does is what is that called where they put needles in you? All he does is acupuncture and lift cars. That's all he does. I got nothing to do with him, Chris. But you have two great quarterbacks right now in the Indianapolis Colts. And if you talk about Steven and Scott, I mean, you got an abundance of great quarterbacks right now. Have you thought about what the plans for the future, or are you just going to kind of roll with it?
We will never be short at that position. We will continue to evaluate it and keep players on the roster. You can't have what you don't want to do is have a really good team, and then all of a sudden your starter goes down and you don't have anybody to go to that you can continue to win with.
Well, that's why we got Luck.
Yes, it is.
Just for future. One guy's neck got hurt, and then Kerry Collins came in, had a 9-week concussion. Curtis Painter batted a 0%, and Dan Orlovsky came in and won 2 games. So I completely understand about that. Have you enjoyed the bullshit that revolves around being a GM? Because you're like a CEO of a company now, basically, right?
I don't mind. Like I don't mind. Like I always just take it day by day, and it is what it is. Like when it's not going good, it is what it is. Stand up, be honest, accept it, freaking own it, and move forward. I don't worry about. I mean, because it's all part of the journey of building something great. I mean, if you don't, what makes it so sweet when you reach the pinnacle is the tough times that you went through to build it. And I don't ever want to lose sight of that. So no, I don't mind the BS that you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Do you speak to the team ever?
I've had my talks with the team, and I like being around the team. I like being around players. Like I like players. It's where we lose sight sometimes. This is a players' league, and everything we need to do to be successful needs to be about the player. From a medical standpoint, from a nutrition standpoint, from a rehab standpoint, from when they're done playing standpoint. I mean, it's our duty to get back to them. I mean, and I really have that perspective on it. Like I worry, like with you, you're a great example. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew what your life's work was going to be. You got to go chase your dream and
Get drunk and high and have conversations.
and talk to people.
Let's go. Let's go. Represent the shield.
But
Yep.
we have to be able to give our players guidance, and we have to give them a chance to be successful when their careers are over. Like it's one of my, like when veteran players that have played 10, 11, 12 years, whenever they walk out of the building, it's hard. When you retire, when you finish playing, it is hard. And because all of a sudden you don't have the camaraderie of the locker room.
That's a big deal.
You don't have Sunday. Because that feeling it gives all of us on Sunday is why we do what we do. Even the losses, they suck. But those feelings, those euphoria of winning games, and people don't realize the high that you get off of it. I mean, there's nothing like it. And so when that ends for a player that's been in the league for a long time, and even for a short period, that's hard. And
Yeah,
you
because
gotta
they still
have-
had it in college and in high school too.
Yeah,
So it's like the same type
exactly.
of.
And no, and it ends at all. I mean, look, at all different levels. Some guys it ends in high school, some college, some NFL. But there's a void in your life of what football is giving you, and the locker room is giving you, and Sunday is giving you, and we have to be able to help them find their way.
Is that a GM's role or more so the league? Like, what do you? Or no? Do you more represent the league or the team? Like,
We represent the team.
so like when you go into business meetings with other GMs, it's basically about the game as opposed to the business.
It's about the game. Yeah, it's about the game.
Do you have any talks about the business of the NFL? Like, do you have a big dick in that meeting? Like, hey, I think we should do this,
I
or
got a very small PP in that meeting.
it's all right, man. You look like you're 12, so I gotta understand that.
How old does Cal look?
Yeah, he looks like a child too. I don't know. Are you work for him? Are you in the scouting department? Nice.
Let me just tell
Hold on. Do
We
you?
need to get Cal. Come get Cal.
Here, come here for a second.
Look, we need to find Cal.
Is he single? How old are you, Cal? Come here, bub. Cal, where are you from?
Chicago.
How'd you get this gig?
I was working for the Colts, and then Chris came on, so I started to work for Chris.
Might have been the best.
Who'd you work for?
Might have been the best scouting job I did.
Did you work for Grigson?
No, I didn't work for Grigson.
By the way, this position for Grigson was ironing his clothes, doing his laundry, washing his car, using his only bag to go to England to carry a Keurig for the GM because he only wanted one certain kind of coffee in England. Anyways, I won't make use.
Hey, let me tell you where I found him. So he's working in finance, and we had a golf tournament last year, and we kind of put it together at the last minute. Whole organization, everybody goes and plays golf.
Sober.
We all went and played golf. and this thing gets organized, put together. It's well run. I mean, who did this? And they said, Cal put this together. I said, Cal, that's working down in finance? I said, yeah. I said, so then when we had a change, I said, man, get him on our side.
I want
And
that
he's
golf.
brilliant.
I want the
No,
golf
he's brilliant.
organizer in my office.
He has got a bright future.
So scouting it, you feel like that is actually scouting though. Like a lot of people don't understand that type of decision is real scouting. Like you saw him put together something, you saw his actual benefit. You're like, wow, this guy's probably good at a lot of other shit. When you're scouting for the NFL, what are the things you look for? Do you look for Obviously, you look for the intangibles, right? Is he fast? Can he play football? But do you have like a personality test you give people to see if they're like competitive, to see if they're good team people, to see if they won't get drunk and arrested in their second year? Do you have shit like that?
I wish. Hey, look, we all make mistakes.
Amen.
And that's why we've got to be able to dig deeper and to see what, how important is the game to them. Guys that the game's important to them, they're going to work at their craft. And they're going to work to get better. That's what you want when they're just playing for money. And look, I don't want everyone to say that that's not important, because it is to the player. They're given a lot, and they got a chance to make a lot of money.
This office is nice
I know
because
it
of
is.
that money.
But at the end of the day, guys that love to play, they're going to work to get better, and they're going to be driven to get better, and they're going to be good in the locker room. Look, and I've had talks with our players about this. I've talked with Vinny about this, and I've talked with Jacoby and some of our defensive guys. Until the locker room holds each other accountable, until you get to a point where, look, the coach can only snap the whip so much. Until the locker room, there's pure accountability for performance. You'll never truly be great. You have to hold each other accountable for things that go on the field. And when somebody's not holding their end of the bargain, players need to be able to call players out about it. So we need guys that aren't scared to ruffle some feathers, that aren't scared to challenge their teammates to be better.
I feel like I was pretty good at that. That's one thing I think that I was pretty good at.
You were definitely a shit starter.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I've walked into a few offices and let some people know what I thought about certain situations. But when I was playing with Peyton, right? So I got a chance to come in at the end of the winningest decade in NFL history, which was awesome to be a part of. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. I shouldn't have been there. But I got a chance to watch Peyton basically be coach, GM at some points, and then mentor and friend for people in the locker room. And it takes like the guy like that to like get in there and get in your shit, basically. He would stop a practice, restart a practice, do what he had to do. And on the defensive side, Gary Brackett, Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney would do the same thing, holding people accountable. Bob Sanders was there for a little bit. Who on this team that you have now, it's a young fucking team, do you have hopes for to be like the flag holders for the squad?
So we're getting a couple back. So there's been some surprises. Matthias Farley.
He was a PP for me for a long time and a gunner. He kicked one in the end zone from the 2-yard line. He and I was on a Pro Bowl run too, but I love Matthias. He's one of my favorite humans on that team.
It's been fun to watch him grow this year, not only as a player, but as a leader. I think when we get Gathers back, I think Gathers has got some seriousness about him. He wants to win. He's worked really hard to get back. I think Ryan Kelly has a chance to really ascend and take over a unit. And I think it's important because, look, I think at the end of the day, the O-line has to be a key group for you. You have to have some leaders because they dominate the locker room.
So what happened in the locker room when 10 sacks were given up, and then T.Y., who's an incredible football player, obviously made it public about how he felt. Did you get involved in that, or is that like a coach-player or player-player thing?
I had my discussions with T.Y., but that's a coach-player. Something that coach handles.
Got you.
But
that's an interesting situation,
and
though.
T.Y.'s as good a kid.
He just wants to have fun and win.
Emotions of the moment. He knows better. But it was the emotions of the moment. We all sucked that day. That was not a good day for anybody. All of us sucked. And he was frustrated. And I get it. But there's a time and place where you vent.
Where do you watch games from?
Up in the press box. There's a little box up there.
Next to it. You listen to music? Listen to the game call?
I listen to the game call.
Who? Bob Lamey or?
Listen to Bob.
He's the best. Bob Lamey's the best. He's going to make you feel good, too, if you're a Colts fan.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even when I've screwed it up, man, Chris Ballard doing great.
Hey. What is one mistake you've made? You think that you look back and you go, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I like this, by the way. Because people ask me the question, it's hard to find one.
No. Yeah, because when you think you've done it all good. Looking back, right now, letting you retire is the number one That's the worst.
Rigo is good.
Biggest mistake I've made.
Just for future reference, Rigo, I am a big fan of
let me
Rigo.
tell you this.
He's talented.
Tom McMahon, who I think's excellent, our special team coach. I think he's
Incredible. He changed my career.
and he's changed many a kicker and punter's career. Comes to me, and this is after we had signed Jeff. And Jeff's a good punter too.
By the way, when you signed him, I knew it wasn't going to work.
He had a great preseason.
Yeah, but his kickoffs were so bad. Like I wasn't a one-trick pony here. You gotta find somebody.
He did pretty good in Minnesota. I mean, when he went to Detroit on his kickoffs. But saying that, he goes, Chris, I went and worked out this punter. He goes, we need to sign him. He goes, he's unbelievable. So all right, let's roll. All right, we just sign the guy. And next thing I know, he is out there booming kicks and has got a bright, bright future. And I give Tom all the credit.
I got a chance to come to one practice before training camp to work with Rigo and holding because Vinatieri sent me a text. Was like, hey, is there any way you can teach this guy how to hold? I think he might get the job, is what Vinny said. This guy has a big leg. And I watched him in practice, and he had this echoing boom off a ball that, like, that's what, as a person who likes to look at other kickers, like, that's what I look for. You can teach technique to a motherfucker. You can't teach a boom, and Rigo's got it. I love Rigo.
No, when you can close I always close my eyes. Like, I like to go to practice and just hear the sounds. And when he punch, you can hear the sounds.
Yeah.
No, it's funny with Vinny because I could just tell during training camp he's got a
brand new snapper,
a brand new snapper, rookie, and then we decide to move a linebacker and make him
snapper
because he wants to do it and is doing well at it. And we got a rookie holder, and I could just see the death stares about twice a week.
Yeah, Vinny's like, hey, motherfucker, man. I'm like 47 years old, and you got these two 12-year-olds holding for me.
I gotta tell you a story.
Yeah, how is your relationship with Vinny?
It's good. No,
is he older than you?
No, he's a little younger. But so, like next week, I get hired. So he's and I walk in the training room, and here's this gray-haired man.
His off season
working with Aaron, our trainer, and I just walked past him. And I think he looked up at Aaron and goes, he didn't know who I was. And I turned around and said, fuck, dude, you're old.
I had the same reaction. Because Vinatieri, when you're scouring an NFL locker room, you're talking about some of the most fit, most athletic, 21 to 29-year-old humans on earth. You're talking about avatars running around. And then you see Vinny, this short little fella from South Dakota who's got this gigantic gray beard, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then that just so happens to be the greatest, maybe football player to ever watch. He's going to score the most points in the history of the game.
He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. The way he prepares, the way how he is in the locker room. There's not a negative to him, and he is. I mean, look, we got two guys on our team that I think are truly special, and they're going to be Hall of Famers, Frank Gore and Adam Vinatieri. And I've been just. What luck to be able to be around him.
Frank Gore loves football, man.
I
love football, man. I love football, man. That's all he does.
So I take the job. About a weekend, I'm like, well, keep Frank Gore, 34 years old, at the end of his career.
He's getting older.
Yeah. So Pete Ward had called and said, hey, Chris, he won an award from the league. And so about 10:30 at night, I'm coming back from dinner, Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl Saturday. I call Frank, thinking I'm just going to leave him a congratulations message. He answers the phone.
What time is it?
About 10:30 at night, and he's in the middle of a party. And he knew it was because he had got my number from Alex Smith. Chris, you know what it looks like. We are going to win. And I could just feel the passion. I went in the next day and watched every freaking snap of Frank Gore and said, no way am I letting this guy off this football field.
So he called you, and you called him. He answers, and he was ready. He had your phone number already from Alex Smith. Did he do any other research on you? Did he know you?
Other than from Alex. No, we had never.
He was waiting for your call.
We had never met, and it was funny I mean, he's just accepted this award. He's in the middle of a Super Bowl party. But Frank Gore if you could have 53 Frank Gores.
Oh.
I mean, he loves football. He's passionate. He's a great teammate. He wants to win. He's willing to put in the time to win. He's everything you want.
I was sitting on a plane ride home last year after the Oakland Raiders game. It was our last away game, I believe. Or maybe it was, I don't know. I think it was our last away game. And I was just sitting there, and word had gotten out that I was done, right? And Frank Gore comes up and sits next to me and goes, "Hey, dog, you would have loved our team in San Fran, man. You would have fit in perfect, man. We love football, man. I just love football, man." I'm like, "Frank, you seem like such this is my first real conversation with Frank, though." And we talked for like 45 minutes to an hour. And the only thing I got out of him that I heard is this: he's a hardworking guy who fucking loves football. That is all Frank Gore is. He just loves football. And I'm not sure, I think he could probably play for another 10 years if he wants. I have no clue how long he has left. But the utmost respect for that guy is outrageous.
Never been around a guy that prepares.
No pads. Wears no fucking pads. He wears that water bottle as shoulder pads, and he just runs through people. I'm like, bro, like a lot of science and medicine is saying that you're fucking yourself up later, but you're killing people.
He is a special, and that's why he's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
You cut Vontae. What happened?
Because Vontae's a good kid, man.
Hey, dog.
He is a good kid. Just at the end of the day, his performance had fell off.
So he was a high-priced player. He was a multiple Pro Bowler. In that corner, that's a type of position where if you're not at 100%, you can get smoked out of nowhere. Yeah, like it can happen.
No, it's tough. It's a tough position to play.
What is the future of the Colts? You getting younger still? Are you going to bring in vets? What do you think you need?
So we got to get to where we get a core group of Colts, guys that are homegrown, guys that we have drafted, that you start seeing their name. Like when you see people wear McAfee.
A lot of them. A lot of McAfee jerseys.
Harrison, Edgerrin James. You want to see these jerseys being worn around the stadium. And the only way we're going to do that is from drafting homegrown talent. And so we got to get a core group of players, which I think we're on our way, that this town can root for.
My man. I appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate you having me.
I'll tell you what.
I'm coming back.
What do you drink? Do you drink?
Water.
Pussy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this, Chris. This is really nice of you, man. And I would have loved playing in your building, but I was already checked out by the time you and I talked. I was ready to go on.
That's because you didn't give me 10 minutes.
I gave you 25 minutes that day in Europe, but I was already decided. I had already flipped the switch. I'm excited to see the future of the Colts under you, man. Every single decision you make, and this is just something. So, like, my issue with the previous GM is I came in under Polian, right? He was a Hall of Famer. So, like, the way he would handle shit, I'd be like, okay, this is probably how it's supposed to be. Like, I'm a sponge when it comes to, like, watching things. Now, granted, I party a lot. I have a good time. But I enjoy learning from people. The new GM came in and just everything he did I thought was wrong. And it was. And then now you've come in, and I really believe, like, the moves you're making and the decisions you're making, although they're difficult and maybe uncomfortable, like, I'm sure cutting Vontae was a very uncomfortable decision. That's a very uncomfortable decision. Yeah. That's a high tier player with a name. Putting Andrew Luck on IR after not putting him on PUP, wasting a roster spot for the first 6 weeks. I questioned you heavy for that.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And then
the only one.
Yeah. But then you made the hard decision to send him to IR. That's a fucking hard decision because that guy. A lot of tickets were sold with him coming back. The goal was him come back. And then you had to make the hard decision for the best for the team. Trading for a quarterback 4 days before the fucking season starts. You've done a lot of awesome things, man. Yeah. Big old ball sack on you, I think. And I I like that. I feel like you very much want to win just as much as the players do. And that's absolutely awesome. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Ballard, GM of the Indianapolis Colts.
You rolled out the red carpet.
I really did. If you watch the video on our Facebook page, Pat McAfee Inc. and Barstool Heartland, we set up its home little studio for him because I didn't want him to feel like he had to sit at my desk. Now listen, just like I mentioned to him, I've been called into the Colts GM office numerous times in my career. Numerous.
Never
positive situations.
Usually at least 10 to 40K on the line.
Now, accurate assessment. Now the GM's come into my office. Hey, come in my office. And we're going to have a good conversation. I'm going to ask you some questions about some things. Hey,
Hey, how about that old GM, huh? He's out here just flopping the trade deadline all up.
bro. There's so much shit. I think this is a good time to get into the NFL because what a fucking weekend it was. At Tactical Diggs, who has NFL quick hits with Diggs every Monday through Thursday or Wednesday now. He's just cutting days off of his schedule anytime he wants. He basically runs through everything you need to know in the NFL. We're about to do one play. He's about to give 40 seconds, one play clock, and he's going to sum up the entire weekend. And I'm excited to judge him if it's good, judge him if it's bad, and have a great conversation about the NFL this past weekend. So we're going to bring into the studio right now at Tactical Diggs. So Diggs has just come into the room, Tactical Diggs, and he said he had the ability to sum up the entire NFL weekend in 40 seconds. And I said, let's go. I want to hear it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a clock, and we're going to see 40 seconds.
And 40 seconds is the play clock.
It is. Unless the ball is spotted or foul, it is 25 seconds. But if not, if it's just continuous run of play, it's 40 seconds. So, Diggs, that was pretty clever there, huh? That's like mainstream media shit right there. Let's do a play clock with Diggs. Play clock with Diggs. Ba-da-ba. All right. All right, the entire week in 40 seconds with your friend, Lovable at Tactical Diggs. Ready and go.
Packers, Bears, John Fox, worst challenge of the year, Pack wins. Browns, Lions, Browns, not a good idea to run a quarterback sneak from the 3 with no timeouts and 15 seconds left. Lions win. Steelers, Colts, Steelers bad, Colts okay, Steelers win. Jags, Chargers, fake punt touchdowns, Rivers picks, revenge kicks, Jags win. Saints, Bills, Bills Mafia streaker, awesome, Saints win by 37. Jets, Bucks, Fitzpatrick, McCown, back-to-back interceptions, back-to-back plays, Bucks wins.
25 seconds in.
Vikes, Redskins, catch of the year from no one anyone knows. Vikes, leapfrog, Vikes win. Bengals, Titans, normal Sunday. Vontez gets tossed, Titans win. Texans, Rams, Savage bad, Goff good, Rams win. Falcon, Cowboys, don't care. Jerry's getting a mutiny
3,
against all the other.
2,
Giants,
1.
49ers, Brock through, hit a guy in the face.
Wow! Wow!
Let's go, Diggs.
Play clock with Diggs. Ooh, ooh. Wow. That was incredible.
Thank you, thank you.
That was really good. You had some rhymes in there. What was your bars in the middle that we heard?
Fake punt touchdowns, Rivers picks, lane hits, revenge kicks, Jags win.
Wow.
That was
A
awesome.
little fucking William Shakespeare.
Go.
You just told him this segment like 25 minutes ago.
Hey, let's make that a segment.
He went up there and pounded that out.
I could knock this out every Tuesday episode easily.
Wow.
Easily.
At Tactical Diggs just worked his way into the Tuesday show
Add it to the resume.
in an incredible fashion. That was really fucking good. That was like back in the day what Boomer used to do. Whenever he did like the fastest
2 minutes?
Yeah. But man, I feel like you only need 40 seconds in the modern day.
Listen, if you could get a play call in and a play call off and make adjustments and Omaha and all that shit in 40 seconds, I should be able to recap the NFL in 40
You know what?
seconds.
You're 100% right. Omaha! I Omaha'd once. Guys.
Did you?
Twice. Palamalu
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
and the throw in Dallas. That was a full-on audible by old numero uno for a big fail.
You hold revenge, you hold it against that guy who didn't catch that ball?
Dewey McDonald's a good guy. He really is. Dewey McDonald's he is a good guy. Boy,
God damn it, Dewey.
that would have been nice if he caught that. But he's made so many plays. Just shit happens, you know?
Wasn't meant to be, bro.
A lot of people drop balls.
Wasn't meant to be. It's okay.
I mean, great players, you know,
They make great plays.
in big situations. That was a big one. But Dewey McDonald saved my ass like 5 times that year. So I make up. I can't be mad at him because he's such a good guy. No. But fucking hey, you in Jerry World, right there. 100,000 people, go-go dancers up in the sky, in like a sky box. Papa John's is there. Hey! Couple years, I'm going to be out of this league. Couple years, he's there, just waving up there in the sky box.
Oh, Papa John.
First quarter, our first series, we gained -2 yards. Trent Richardson zagging. Just a zigga. Just one zig would have been great. But he's killing it in Canadian Football League. Hopefully he figures it out. And boy, we get that first down. It's a whole different ball game. Instead, they get the ball on the 18. And they go on to score about 100 points. And that's where it all started. So it's a good day. Good day. It was a tough day. Tough day. I got yelled at the next day. Told we're never doing that play ever again. If your gunner's wide open, you are not allowed to throw it unless we tell you can throw it. I said, why? Because one ball is dropped. Are you never going to throw it again to any wide receiver that drops the ball? Are we just going to completely bow down because one unfortunate happening? And they said, yes. I said, all right. I really wanted to keep it in. I loved it. It should have been a touchdown. I was upset. But it happens.
How is that your fault if you deliver a primetime Dilfer's dime?
It was, by the way, been working on that throw for a long time. Street football back in the day, backyard football back in the day. College, I used to practice against the defense, the scout team. I used to run scout team offense. Even in the NFL.
You got a cannon, cuz. You got a cannon.
But I've been training for that day. Like, I would play. I was Drew Brees in the scout team as scout team quarterback. Whenever we played them and they hung 50 on us.
And you said you knew they were.
And I said I knew it was going to happen because that week I was balling. I was throwing balls to the tight ends, just like boom, 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 right down. And we just couldn't figure it out that week. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a long night. It's going to be a long Sunday night. Turns out it was. It was a long one. So I've been dreaming of that moment for a long time. Everybody in Pittsburgh plays football. Everybody in Pittsburgh plays football growing up. It's just the way it is. Long time I've been preparing for that one. And it was perfect. In Jerry World. Things like that happen. Things like that happen. Things like that happen.
You can't have it all, man.
Listen, but you should be going for it. You
Oh,
should
yeah.
be going for it all.
Definitely gotta
Just
go
for
for it.
future reference, that is a good call. You can't have it all, but you should be going for
You
it
should
all.
be going for it all, but just know that you're not going to get it all. But if you get a lot, you win.
Louis C.K. got a lot for a long time.
He got a lot. He got away with a lot for a long time.
He said, I'm going to sit back and listen now, is what he said. He said, I'm going to go ahead and step the fuck away. I'm going to go disappear for a little bit, probably go to an island or something. I'm going to listen for a little while.
He said he put on some gloves. He
He's
put on
not
some
going to an
glasses.
island.
He was hoping the glasses were going to help him. I get me some black frame glasses. Everybody's going to forget that I trap chicks in corners and jack off against their will.
Terrible move, by the way.
Dudes like him, gingers don't go to islands to get away. Like
Oh,
he's
he
going.
can. He's got to go to like Iceland.
Yeah.
Actually, Iceland is nice. Greenland is no. What is it? Greenland is ice. Iceland is nice.
Correct.
Mighty Ducks.
2.
Iceland is green.
Who?
Iceland is green. That's what they say. And Greenland is full of ice.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks 2.
So did they say it worse than I said it? Because I
Yeah.
feel like the way I said it was.
Yours was
I feel like they should have said it my way. That's Disney that wrote that movie?
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that. There's just one little part of a script of theirs that I feel like I got better than them.
It's not a big deal. Maybe we should just contact the tourism board of both of those countries and work this out.
Yeah.
Well, do you know why they did it? They named Iceland because they didn't want people going there to try to fuck it up. So they named it Iceland. So people would be like, oh, it's fucking full of ice. We're not going there.
That makes so much sense. It's like they were trying to confuse people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else
I think
can
the
be?
Vikings.
You know what else can be complicated and confusing?
What?
Honestly.
No, tell us.
Like trying to get tickets to a live event that
Oh
you
my
just
God.
want to get to so bad.
It bugs me sometimes.
It's like, oh my God, that's my favorite comedian, musician, football team, soccer team, any type of live event. And I want to go see him. And you're like, well, how do I know I'm getting the right tickets? Well, I don't know. How do I know I'm not getting screwed over in a ticketing Ponzi scheme, which happens on a very regular basis?
You just don't.
You're like, how do I know? I have little fears. I have very, very big fears of buying tickets on the internet. And our friends at SeatGeek said, never fear. We're going to help you out. That's what we came for. We're going to make sure you get the best ticket for the price. We're going to make sure that every ticket is legit. We're going to make sure that you get in and have an enjoyable experience that whenever you're getting married, the night before, you're going to be like, hey, you remember when we went to, that thing. That's what SeatGeek does for you. And they're the best. They're the absolute best. I've used them plenty of times for numerous things this year.
I used them this weekend for
Dig-
Steelers Colts.
There we go. Diggs went to the Steelers Colts game, which ended in a Boswell great fucking pure stroke kick.
It was a shitty game, but great tickets.
I went to a violin recital and it was beautiful. And I want to thank SeatGeek for getting me down in there. It was sold out months ago.
How old is a violin recital?
The event itself.
Are they adults?
It started in 1978 when I was born, and that's why I went, because it was his 40th birthday as well. Mm-hmm. So I mean his 39th birthday. So I went my 39th birthday.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And getting the tickets wasn't complicated or confusing at all. It was majestic and magical, actually. And I recommend you do the same damn thing. Download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code PAT today. That's P as in pterodactyl, A as in apple, T as in today. That's promo code PAT for $10 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Download the SeatGeek app. Use promo code PAT. Get money off and get a chance to go to whatever event you want to go to and enjoy the hell out of it.
You know what I think someone should do? If you want to make a real play,
Go ahead.
you get you that Omaha package.
Wow.
All right? You invite your lady over.
How many pieces of meat was it? Like
So
700
many.
pieces of meat?
47 or some crazy statistic.
Okay.
You get the 2 ribeyes. I mean, you get the 2 sirloins there. You fry them you put them down on a flat grill there. Little 4 minutes on one side, little 4 minutes on the other. You whip together the potatoes all rotten.
Oh, gratin.
Okay. You
Click
eat
it,
up.
clack.
You get a little glass of wine.
How you like me now?
You have a little garnish, a little pop, maybe a little parsley or something.
Pang, pang.
Then you're gonna eat it up, drink a glass of wine, and get your tickets. Go right to your confirmation email.
Wow.
And then go right to the event. You Uber to the event.
Unsubscribe from any other ticketing company that you have hated before.
Yeah.
Right there at the top of your email. I'd like to unsubscribe from this forever.
Yep.
And you scroll through, you go to SeatGeek, and you're like, boom, this is where it's at.
Here we go.
Got a receipt, go into an event.
Flash the receipt to your boo. Like, look at this. SeatGeek hooked me up. 3rd row, boo boo. Let's
Bang.
do this.
How do you like that?
Now your belly's full with my delicious Omaha Steaks meal I whipped up. We're gonna go to this event that we picked up some tickets off of SeatGeek, and I'm gonna Uber there because I'm safe
Yeah, you are.
and I make good decisions.
That's what because you're an adult.
I watch real events, I eat real food, and I travel safely.
And you're 39 now.
Boom. 39, mama.
Tiggs, how do you feel about that? He's 39.
Yikes.
I'm just a little. I feel bad that I just found out it was your birthday.
No, it's
Just now you found that out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's not-
Terrible person.
It's okay. You're a real big piece of shit, but no, I'm just kidding. No, I don't expect dudes to know. I mean, I
agree.
don't know anybody's birthday.
Facebook was clutch for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
On like a heads up. Even like they give you a heads up for real. Like in the morning, they even show you like last year you posted this photo, just a heads up. Maybe it's an anniversary or something. Something you should think about.
My birthday is 9 months to the day from Valentine's Day. My dad was a G. He was closing on Valentine's Day.
This is a safe place, right?
100%.
I can talk about things and no one will judge me.
9 months after Valentine's Day, Sean Latham is born.
It's like, yo, it's your boy,
The-
the love child.
It's like the old school.
For like the last 6 years, I hate Facebook, so I always deactivated it. But for like 2 weeks before my birthday, I would reactivate it just to see
Wow.
who would say happy birthday to me.
On your wall.
Classic move.
Huh?
That's a classic move.
Thank you, Ty. I
'Cause then
appreciate that.
Then you know who, like if someone says happy birthday, it's like, all right, well, maybe I need to say happy birthday
Correct.
to them. If not, fuck them. You're done with
Well,
them.
no, I'm not saying happy birthday to them either because I'm deactivating my
No,
Facebook
listen.
right after.
Power play.
There are 2 types of friends. 3 types of friends. There are friends that text you happy birthday. There are friends that post on your wall happy birthday. And there are friends that text and post on your wall happy birthday.
I don't like that third one.
Those are the loyalists.
I like
Those
the
No, it's a
FaceTime.
tryhard.
On someone's birthday. Talk some shit.
Yeah, but involving Facebook wall.
Oh, yeah.
There's either the people who are strictly Facebook wall happy birthday-ers, who I think are only doing this at a point just to scheme you to say happy birthday on their wall. This is a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type situation. And it's such an interesting one. My Facebook is a hilarious. I haven't used my personal Facebook in years. I keep up with Phil's kids and his family, which he's at the level of creating a little small Maine's army over there. But it's cool for me to keep up with them. Like he posts pictures of his family. I get to see them. It was really cool for me whenever I was in Indianapolis. Everybody was either in West Virginia or Pittsburgh, like keeping up with everybody. But it's just, it's wild shit, bro.
It just resets your Facebook. It's like your whole wall gets
Because
butt
out of
fucked.
nowhere, people you ain't never talked to, out of nowhere, just like, happy birthday, hope life is good. And for a little bit, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. Because it does feel good. It really does feel good. But then I'm like, oh, should I let them know? I blocked my wall one year. I blocked my wall. I said no posting because I didn't want to feel obligated to post back or to like everything. I didn't want to feel obligated to do that because, hey, listen, not a lot of us, I don't know a lot of you.
If I got like 10 people that were doing it, no big deal. But when you have 5,000,
At the beginning of Facebook, though, I think a lot more people were more active.
Oh, when it was
Activity
college
was
kids
so
only?
much higher. Oh my god!
well, yeah, they don't want those notifications.
and
and
those
shit.
walls just became.
And it wasn't just everyone just.
It was a Twitter feed there
fucking-
for a
it
little
was-
bit.
literally now it's just for complaining, but back then,
Facebook was Twitter.
I used to have some fun. I don't do shit on Facebook regular anymore. I mean, in my fan page, I post my shit. And
What's
I
that?
share
What's
my
your fan
videos.
page?
Sean Latham Comedy.
On Facebook, little plug there.
Little plug.
Hit a little follow, folly,
SHAUN.
a little likey like,
Yeah, but I mean, regular Facebook, it's just
subscribe, subscribe.
little click how you like me now.
No, you're not doing it right. The king of advertising says, forget it.
I think once grandparents got on Facebook,
Yep,
it
that was
was
a
out
wrap.
the door.
Bro, it changed the game. My
Yeah,
mom
that
and
was
dad
it.
started Facebooking heavy, and I'm like, where am I right now? Because Facebook is everybody on earth. I've been giving Facebook rants these last couple of weeks because I don't think people truly understand how much they rule the world.
Yeah, I asked you, does Apple have more power or does Facebook have more power?
Facebook, by far.
I agree with you after what you told me.
Facebook's the whole world.
Amazon or Facebook.
Facebook is the whole world.
Yeah.
But
literally
you
the
need
whole
Apple
world.
to even see Facebook almost.
No, because Android, he said. And that's,
Android,
that's
man.
what completely turned me around.
Facebook, everybody, even if they don't have an iPhone, they're on their computer on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. The entire world is on Facebook. The youngest of young to the oldest of old. 80-year-olds are on fucking Facebook. Everybody's on there.
Who
At
has
least
a
once.
who has the higher net worth of the two companies?
I think Facebook's worth is whatever our business is in Facebook. Like it's its own world. They're going to make so much money. It's outrageous. I mean,
I think Zuckerberg is definitely worth more than any of those guys.
No, the Amazon guy is now the richest dude in the world.
that's
Isn't he?
only because Mark Zuckerberg hasn't decided to be the richest guy on earth. If he wanted to, he could sell the company. He could sell Facebook for whatever limited
$1 trillion.
price tag he wanted to put on there, and he would be the richest guy on earth like
He's
that.
got a $74 billion net worth. And it doesn't even say, it just says Mark Zuckerberg.
And
not
he could
Facebook.
sell it for so much more if he wanted to be. So I understand how people say like this guy's net worth, he's the most, but I feel like if Facebook ever went up for sale, there would be probably $1 trillion. It's everything. It's everybody's on there.
I think of like what idea he's got in his brain next too. I mean, he's obviously just, like when he decides like, all right, I'm done with this and I want to do something else, like who's to say that isn't just going to blow up and explode too?
Yeah, just like Elon Musk, right? That guy's created like $3 billion ideas. Just boom, 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 boom. It's another teardrop. Not a big deal. Here's $1 billion idea. Whatever they want to do.
Do you remember?
That started as a hot or not app, by the way. Facebook started out as the first Tinder, basically.
Yeah, the Winklevosses made it.
Yikes.
You think the Winklevosses are still like, yeah, this is what we would have done with it? No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have, Vossi, Winklevi. You would not have, cuz. So don't even come up with that bullshit.
You remember the day you got that college email address and it meant that you were allowed to sign up for Facebook?
I think my year was the first year of that.
It was close. No, because Nick's a year older. He thinks he was the first year.
I don't think so. I think he was a freshman.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I think he was a freshman. I was a senior in high school. And Phil, the same guy that I watch, he was like, it was hilarious. He's like, you signed up for Facebook yet? I was like, no, what's that? He was like, oh, you got to have a college email. Does West Virginia even have those? He was going to Pitt, right? Like before he even got in, he was like talking shit. I'm like, I have a fucking email. Get off my dick, bro. And he was like, yeah, you got to go to Facebook. Everybody's doing it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And you get in there, and it was just this little world in there. It was its own world on the internet, just out of nowhere. It was like a message board that just got duplicated and bettered
Yeah, and then
by $1 trillion.
The move was once you got on it, you would search your class, like I did Duquesne 2010, and just friended every single girl that was in that class.
Yep.
Real creep move, guys.
No. It's
Yeah,
building
yeah,
your
yeah.
network.
Yeah.
You used to be able to like post your class schedule on there. Too,
I didn't do
too.
that.
Like,
That's a fucking weird
like,
move.
Yeah, no, I remember hearing people do that. Like, well, A block, I have this. B block, I have this.
Too much information. Dude. College was outrageous.
The worst part was when games became big, and then I started blowing up my noties with fucking everybody hitting you with the game.
Yeah, like I don't want to play the farm game, cuz what is
Farmville was the
Farmville.
worst.
I ain't never played it.
I haven't either.
Now listen, I understand people love it because I got into Sims.
I love Sims.
Yeah.
You're going to hear me talk
Same
about
shit.
Sims in this conversation with Michelle Morrow after the bonus conversation with Michelle Morrow today, who's like a super gamer. I got into the Sims pretty heavy.
Me too.
You know, pretty heavy. But this Farmville, I just don't understand what people were doing. And it was it.
And people would start asking, like, guys, can someone help me? I need a cow or whatever the fuck. Like, they were reaching
Was it just
out.
Sims with farms? Was that all it was?
Yeah, you're just making a farm. You know what I was into? Roller Coaster Typhoon.
Yo, that was Tycoon.
Yeah.
Who?
Roller
Coaster Tycoon.
Typhoon
I don't think
or
I know what that
Tycoon.
one is.
You built your own park, and then
Same
people
as-
would come in. You could do it with zoos and shit too.
Huh?
Yeah.
We bought a zoo. That's a good movie. By the way, it's a little bit of heartbreaker there.
Shout out Matt Damon.
Shout out Matt Damon.
But can Matt Damon stop going to space and getting lost? Every fucking movie, this guy has to get rescued from space. It's like, that's enough. No more space movies,
Bro, learn from your fucking mistakes in the past.
How many
bro.
times can you go to Mars and not get back?
Come on, bro.
What other one did he not? Which other one did he?
There was
get
at
lost?
least two
Interstellar.
movies.
He sucked
Are you
in
confusing
Interstellar.
him with McConaughey?
He
Whoa.
was, he was good, but like his character sucked.
Spoiler alert. Jesus Christ.
Yikes!
When that movie come out?
Like 4 years
3
ago.
years
Yeah.
That's I haven't seen it. You know I've never seen it.
I got a new movie suggestion.
Huh?
It's Matthew McConaughey.
Who?
It's called Gold.
Oh, I've been skipping over that on my
Watch
Fire Stick. I need.
Watch
I
it.
should.
It's fucking
Fire
dope.
stick. What the fuck's a fire stick?
It's illegal, and you could get every single TV show and movie out there.
Huh?
It's a little Android stick you stick in your fucking TV.
You got to jailbreak it. You got to get it out of jail.
This is the most Italian thing I've heard. You watch TV in an Italian fashion. This is unbelievable.
Go on OfferUp and just type in Fire Stick, and there's, I mean, it's a super hustle. You buy these things for like $30, and then you jailbreak them and sell them for $80, because no one else had to jailbreak them. So it's a monster fucking hustle. But it works.
It's called
It's
Cody.
like the black box back in the day.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
whenever you used to steal pay-per-views, they're like, "Oh, you'll go to
I had a
federal
black
prison."
box. I had a black box.
It's like Game
$200.
Genie, where you get every game.
Never heard of it.
Black boxes were the shit.
Yeah, black boxes were a big deal. I used to go down to my friend's house. The Craig household used to have a black box, and we'd watch the WWF
wrestling pay-per-views.
Me and my roommate split the
Sable
cost.
showed her
dude.
titties.
With the black stars.
Yeah, with the hands.
Or was the hands?
Hands
My bad.
down the winner. Yeah. I was watching on TV as a kid. Sabo.
I'll
I'm
never
balls
forget
deep right
that.
now in The Wire season 2.
Great
Ziggy
show.
Sabatka.
Big fan of season 2.
I tried to watch. I feel like that movie that you're gonna get hooked to that. I feel like you're gonna get
It's-
hooked
yeah.
to that.
Oh, I
Season
am.
2 is my least favorite, by the way. So
It is?
Yeah.
I like it better than season 1.
down
I
on
ain't
the
never
docks.
seen it.
They're down on the docks and shit.
Oh, you going down in the water.
Yeah.
So I don't. I've never seen it, but people get hooked to The Wire. Sopranos, same thing.
Yeah.
Sopranos episode 1.
And Breaking Bad, same thing.
I've been watching the fuck out of episode 1 alone.
Just over and over.
Because I put some, I start by, when I leave my house in the morning, I put that on so my dog can hang out and watch Tony Soprano.
Are you trying to turn your dog into a gangster?
Well, my dog's,
Hey, toughen up, Ari.
she's been going around the neighborhood. She's got fucking people giving her VIG. The VIG is running. The day I came home, there was $3,500 in an envelope in on my couch. I said, "Where'd you get this?" She said, "Don't ask questions."
You said Ari's running around the neighborhood. Oh my God.
Hey, Chef, don't ask questions
Hey,
you don't want answers to.
Dak Prescott was supposed to come on the show, by the way, and he canceled.
Oh, because they lost?
I'm about tired of people canceling on the show. Jerry Ferrera, Turtle, canceled.
Come
last
on,
second.
fucking turtle.
And now Dak.
Is it because they lost? Or is
I
it
don't
because
know.
there's a mutiny against Jerry?
I'm assuming it's because they lost and he got sacked 6 times by one dude. I wouldn't want to do any interviews either. But goddamn, how about a heads up? Like, hey, we will, if the Dallas Cowboys win, you'll do this. As opposed to like, hey, your Thursday show, there's going to be a good portion of it where you're chatting with the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I'm sure that wouldn't have been a good conversation. So now we got to rearrange a whole fucking show. That's what I'm thinking about right now. We're mid-show, and I'm just like, fuck. I got to figure out Thursday's show. This is unbelievable. Oh, well.
Have you talked about the mutiny against your boy?
Who that?
Jerry.
Jerry.
Supposedly, all the owners are saying that if Jerry sues the NFL, they have a way that they can make Jerry sell the Cowboys.
Article 8, because he's fucking
Bro.
impeding on the something of the
So-
fucking NFL.
The guy that let us into Bankers Life Fieldhouse last week.
Love that guy, by the way.
He was awesome.
Great.
He-
He survived cancer, that guy.
Bro, him busting your chops was killing me. He was letting you have it.
He knows everybody. His name's Eddie White, right? He literally knows everybody. He's a talker. He's good. He's funny. He's quick-witted. He's a Pennsylvania guy, so he's like, he has a lot of shit to him, right? And he used to work back in the day. Like somehow, I'm gonna have to talk to him to get the facts completely straight because all I've heard is like secondhand stories. But he has pictures on his IG with like Troy Aikman, like Dan Marino, The Rock. Like he was a PR guy, I think for the Dolphins maybe. So he got a chance to meet like everybody, right? That was back in the heyday too. Jimmy Johnson was there and shit. And he had a very interesting take on the whole NFL thing. He said that if back in the day when the NFL was starting and building, that if the mindset of the Cowboys was every franchise's mindset, the NFL would have never happened. Because it's almost like the owners had to come to the realization that a team in a small city at the beginning might not sell as well as a team in a bigger city, but we need those cities to have teams. Like we need Kansas City to have a team, St. Louis. Now, granted, they left, but Indianapolis, like these cities, like we need these cities to have these teams. So you kind of have to take care of each other. And it's very interesting that perspective, because he was like, hey, this is what the other side is thinking out loud. They're like, we got to take care of each other. When in my mind, I've always been like, Jerry owns his own stadium, does his own rights. Like I respect it. Like that's a boss fucking move. But then you think bigger picture. It's like, that's an interesting way to look at it. Like, are we looking out for the entire NFL? Which I think that conversation is probably going to happen at some point, because this is an interesting dynamic here. This whole Dallas Cowboy owner wanting to eliminate. He wants to get rid of Goodell, right?
He said he's going to sue the NFL if they extend Rodgers' contract.
That's an incredibly large WWE style storyline.
That's a very big case of, do you know who I am?
Oh my God. Never be that guy, by the way.
You'll never work in this town again.
Never want to be that guy right there, ever.
You'll never work in this
So
town
now
again.
the other owners are saying, if you do that, we have a way to make you sell the Cowboys.
Wow. That purchase number, by the way, from whoever bought it would be Mark Cuban. That number that he would buy that company for, because he's in Dallas, right, with the Mavericks. But I think him and Jerry are boys. And I don't know if the NFL has let Mark Cuban in the past. I think Mark Cuban maybe has tried and they didn't let him.
Baseball hasn't, because he tried buying the Pirates.
Well, I would fucking love him in the NFL, by the way. An owner that was like him would be incredible in the NFL. Be great for the NFL. By the way, I want a ref. I want to be the head ref of a 4th preseason game next year. And I just want to see how it goes.
Get the ball rolling on that, whoever you are out
Listen,
there.
whoever needs to make calls to whoever and text to whoever to make this happen, let's please do that. There's a lot of people who listen to this show that are in some pretty hilarious, like,
White House
areas of the totem pole in the NFL. And I think we could potentially make this happen. Now, listen, hear me out. Those 4th preseason games are big for a lot of players to make the roster potentially. But God damn it, it is terribly unentertaining a lot of the time. Unless one guy starts popping off and just starts making plays, it's a pretty terrible game. So listen here. We go live. You let me be the head ref. I get a solo shot on whatever local network I'm on for 30 to 45 seconds every single time a flag is thrown. We will have a good time, man. That crowd will be rocking. I will have that stadium ready to run through a wall by the end of that game. It'll be a great time.
What's the deal with these first down chains?
it'd be knowing you, it'd be a 6-hour show.
Oh, my God.
Flag, you'd put on a
Listen.
2-minute explanation.
We all saw him hold him. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know why I have to say this. It is holding on the guy that everybody saw hold. It'll be a 1st down and 20. Probably not going to pick this one up.
You know what you did.
Analysis
and
while
blow the
referee.
whistle and blow the whistle and wind the clock. Get to it. Let's go. Roughing the passer, 98. No reason for him to do what he did. That's a 15-yard automatic 1st down. By the way, that's the first time this guy's done this today. He's done it 3 other times. This guy is becoming a bad football player. Like, imagine that type of stuff. That would be incredible.
I like it.
This D-end, who just touchdown. Yep, that's a touchdown for number 80, who probably just got himself a job. That's pretty cool. This guy's probably going to be able to play football for longer than just having to retire for not making the team. Good for him.
I didn't hold. You know what you did.
Listen, you did hold, and I am not listening to a thing you're saying.
It's 5 yards. Go back to the huddle.
And boy, I'd be asking the coaches to challenge it, because I'm coming out of that fucking challenge with some confidence. Like I said, the first motherfucking time, that is a 1st down. Oh, yeah, baby. It's true. I'd drop a Kurt Angle line in there. It'd be a fool. It'd be entertaining.
Sounds awesome.
NFL needs that right now.
That'd be good. That'd be a
Needs
good
it.
time.
Ratings are down.
I would for sure swear, though. For sure. at some point there is a fudge, and it's not going to be fudge though. It's going to be the other F word, the F dash dash dash. Christmas Story is about to be on TV, by the way. Great quote there. But I would say that at some point. That'd be their only fear, I think. The NFL sent me something in the mail.
What did they send?
I don't know. FedEx wouldn't deliver it at my house, so they sent it back. So hopefully they'll resend it. I hope so.
They could just put that game on either like Showtime or HBO. Don't they have agreements with both? And then you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Or yeah,
Wait, who sent what?
Huh?
the NFL sent him a package. He wasn't there to accept
I was
it.
there to accept it. They sent it back. So I don't know what the hell it was. Could be literally anything. Could
be a ref suit.
Could be a
with
hey.
a whistle.
That's best case scenario. By far the best case.
Ref suit and whistle.
I ain't never got a letter from the NFL that was like good. I mean, never. Not a once, cuzzo. Not a once. It has to be like a, it's either like a, hey, why don't you stop just jacking and pirating our film and putting it on Twitter and we won't suspend your account. Or maybe it's like, hey, although we enjoy your videos, we feel like you're really just stealing all of our shit. So let's talk about it. Or it's, hey, here's your draft card. They sent me a DM last week that they found my draft card for when the Colts put the card into the commissioner to get drafted. They're like, hey, we found this in some files. Didn't know if you wanted it. Maybe they sent me that.
Probably that.
Hey, we found this under some dude's desk on the third floor. Other new hires.
Hey, pick 222 in round 7 of the 2009 draft was just pulled out of the files here. Didn't know if you wanted it.
You would think the NFL would be organized enough that after every draft they would send everyone's draft cards to those teams and have the teams pass them out.
I bet you they want to keep them, though, because you never know. Like, they probably see no value in mine.
I think they knew that you would post it as a Throwback Thursday, so like, boom, PR move. Sent it.
Wow.
I think that everybody, all the 221 picks before you drop the fucking ball. 221 fucking dummies.
Jerry Jones said it. Well, not Jerry Jones. Joe DeCamillis, who was working for the Cowboys, said they were going to draft me. Like,
They cucked you.
the week before the draft. He was like, you're my guy. Can't wait to get to work. And literally the whole weekend, we were excited, man. We were jacked. We're like, yeah, fuck yeah. On Sunday, I'm going to be a Cowboy, cuzzo. Let's go. This is the moment we're going to party.
It's time to play for a selfish-ass pro organization.
Well, I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
I
I mean, Jesus Christ. Excuse me. I did not.
9 years in a future joke.
Could you imagine? Little did I know I was going to play for a selfish organization. No, but I was like so jacked up. We were celebrating. My whole family and I were partying. Friday night, first round was the Friday night. We're like, well, definitely not going here. Let's go ahead and get fucked up, cuzzo. We got real intoxicated. Woke up Saturday, same damn thing. Sunday, we're going to be sober for this moment. Go golfing, hole 14. My mom goes, fuck, from the golf cart. And she goes, what? And my dad walks over. The Cowboys just drafted another kicker. My dad goes, oh, shit. Cowboys just took another guy. Let's get out of here. And I said, what? What? The Cowboys just drafted another kicker. We need to get out of here. And we just left the golf course. And then we went back home. And I was just sitting in my living room like, man, plan B was just a pill, I thought. But now I'm really going to have to think about this. Like, I need to figure out a plan B right now because the Cowboys are really the only people that are like, we're going to draft you or whatever. So we were just drinking away our sorrows at this point. Like, we were a sad, drunk family in my living room right there in Plumboro, Pennsylvania, just sitting there drinking. And then my phone rings, and it's a 317 area code. And I go back into my mom's and dad's bedroom, which is like 5 feet down a hallway away from the living room. And I'm sitting in there, and it's, how you doing? I'm like, well, not great. You know, this has been a rough day. It's been a rough day. He's like, well, I think we're about to change that. We just traded up and we drafted you. I was like, okay. He was like, this is Bill Pauling of the Indianapolis Colts. I'm like, holy fuck, let's go. I was like, oh, this is great news. And then at that same time, ESPN changed it over, and they said trade. Colts have traded up with the Philadelphia Eagles. And have drafted Pat McAfee. So, like, my family saw it go across the ticker when they heard me on the phone in the back, and they just lost their shit. Like, my dad and mom and everybody, my Phil was there, the Maines family I just referenced. I think Nick might have been there. We were just losing our shit. Like, the whole house went from, like, super depressed to very lit in a matter of a breaking ding, ding, ding. It was insane, and we were so excited. And I'm literally talking to the Bill Pauling goes, all right, I'm gonna send you over to the assistant. We're excited for you. We just got to get some logistics worked out. I'm like, oh, awesome, Bill. Thanks, man. That's awesome. Thanks for that. I go to the assistant, and my parents are now celebrating because it went across the thing that I got drafted. They come flying in. Everybody's drunk, hammered drunk, screaming around me like, we fucking did it, like all jacked up. And the assistant lady's like, what number do you want, And I'm like, what do you have? She's like, okay, I'm going to read through a list of open numbers. I'm like, okay. She goes, 1. I go, perfect. Give me that number, right? Because everybody all I wanted to do was party. Like, I was so happy. I was like, this is it. Because it was a roller coaster of emotions there. Oh, Jerry Jones sent me right into the blender of fucking hell. What am I going to do next? And then bang, Bill Polian, knight in shining armor, comes do-si-doing into my life and brings me into the NFL. And everybody just wanted to party. But everybody's like, why the number 1? Is it like, you want to be the best? I'm like, no. My whole house was drunk at the time, and it was mayhem. And I was trying to get the answer out as quick as possible. Thank you. What flight do you want out here on Friday? What are the options? 6:30. Give me that one. I was the first rookie there. I had the first flight at 6:30. It wasn't until like Tuesday or Wednesday after I went out to the football field to try to learn how to punt that I realized that I confirmed a 6:30 a.m. flight. I was like, fuck me. I got to be up at what time for this thing? Oh, it was a rough day. And then my first day getting there, man, this whole week was wild. So I get drafted. We party hard Sunday. My dad wakes my ass up on Monday. He's like, yo, we got to go figure out how to fucking punt. Like, for real. My dad said, we got to go learn how to punt. Like, I didn't know how to punt, really. I knew how to do college punting. I didn't know how to do NFL punting. So my dad and I go to my high school football field, and we were trying to figure the fuck out. And it was quite a process. Like, the first couple punts, not looking like a guy that should be in the NFL or even high school. Not good. Very hungover. Chugged a Pedialyte before then. I was just at my high school where I grew up kicking at, trying to learn how to fucking punt so I can get in the NFL next week. And it was an interesting thing. And I'm out there punting, and I'm getting averagely good. Like, it was tough, right? And then I get an interview in Indianapolis with JMV. And he does an interview with me, and he's like, you're from West Virginia. Vanderjack was from West Virginia, and Vanderjack and Peyton Manning got into that whole thing, Or do you have any comparisons? People say you have a personality or whatever. And I went on this long rant about how, I think there's a difference in having a personality, though, and then being a complete dumbass and, going after Peyton Manning. That's the face of the NFL. I would never do that. I think I'm a good teammate, although I like to have a good time, So I get that 6:30 flight a couple of days later. I get there. The first person I meet is the PR guy, and he pulls me in the back room. And he goes, you did an interview this last week. We want to let you know we don't enjoy the fact that the Vanderjack story was brought back up. We tried to bury that. We want to let you know here at the Colts, we don't produce stars. We produce football players. So you won't be doing any interviews or shows on a regular basis. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, you got it, man. Yeah, because to be honest, Star, I don't even know how to punt. So I don't know what you're fucking really. You got it, man. I got a lot of other shit to worry about instead of shows, man. I don't even know how to punt. You got it. I was like, yes, sir, whatever. And it was just such a fucking interesting ride, man. Then I had to learn how to punt. It was just the first day I punted. There was 3 other punters here. Okay, so they had an older guy who was just there. They had cut the previous guy, Hunter Smith, who was a good dude. They had a couple other dudes there, and I was by far the worst punter at rookie camp, by far. Tim Masthay was out of Kentucky. The new special teams coach wanted him bad. Bill Polian wanted me. So it was like kind of a little bit of a grudge thing already with the special teams coach. And this other guy who had been punting for 5 to 6 years. And me, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I'd hit one that was like a rocket. See you later, cuzzo. And then I'd hit 4 in a row, 0 yards, bang, bam, bam. And Bob Lamey, who's the voice of the Colts, I heard him one time go wow, one time, whenever I hit a shank. And Bob Lamey, hindsight, is the most positive human on earth. And I enticed wow out of him on one punt that went fucking nowhere. But Bill Polian had 100% faith in me. He was like, we think you're athletic enough, you'll figure it out. I'm like, we better fucking hope, Bill. We better hope, buddy. Absolutely. And I got real lucky.
So when did you go to that kicking camp with the punter who we interviewed a few months ago? I can't remember who it was.
Thomas Morstead?
Yeah.
So that was before my senior year.
Okay.
It was a camp out in Wisconsin where all the great punters and kickers would go to around college. Connor Lee, Sean Lee's older brother who
Yeah.
kicked at Pitt, told me to go to this, and I didn't want to go. I don't like going to kicking camps. Hey, you guys do you, I'm going to do me, okay? Didn't like the kicking community. Then I went to this camp, and I met a bunch of people. I kicked, and I met Thomas Morstead. I met Tim Masthay. I met so many people at this thing. Kevin Huber was out there, I think. And I was like, oh, these dudes are all like really cool dudes. And I got a chance to watch some guys do some things at that camp that I thought I was the only person that could do. So like I thought was the only person that could launch a 70-yard field goal just out of nowhere. And then boom, I saw like 2 guys there that were just like hitting them. I'm like, oh man, maybe I got a little smaller dick than I thought. It was just it was very interesting. But Thomas Morstead helped me. He kind of taught me how to punt. He was the one who gave me the things to think about. He was like, because his punting style was very different than my punting style in college. He was like a set NFL punter in college, just like Kevin Huber. I was a rollout punter. So like whenever I got drafted to it, I literally had to text him like, hey, man,
I forget everything you told me.
hey man, just give me some thoughts, like just some things to think about here before going in. And then he, in between OTAs and the regular season, he gave me a lot of work. It was really nice of him.
Is that common?
What's that?
Like, just, I mean, I know you guys are kind of like a tight fraternity.
People
but-
helping people.
Him
Yeah,
helping
but-
me?
Yeah, like a guy on a different team.
You
like-
know what? That is a very interesting thing because he texted me. A lot of guys texted me after I retired, and they said, hey, now that we're not in the same league, is there any way I could talk to you about a couple of the things you do? And I was like, yeah, no problem, man. You could talk to me whenever you wanted. And it was so interesting that I never even thought about that. Like, I never even thought about, because maybe, and we ended up playing him my rookie year in the Super Bowl too. So like, that's an interesting thing. Like that really could come back and get him. But like, I don't think, that's a mind blower there. Because I would have given information out to people, I think. Not all of it, but I wouldn't have told everybody everything, like the crucial things. But I think if there was like something to help somebody, I would definitely tell them. Like there was a Vikings punter last year, I think. And after the game, I could tell it was Jeff Locke, actually. It was Jeff Locke. And I said, hey, man, I think I'm going through this. I went through the same type of thing you're going through right now. So it was later in the season, and he was hitting balls, and they weren't turning over. So he had like a 3-game slump, which everybody has. This is not a rarity. But I went through the same exact slump he went through like a couple years beforehand. I went through the same exact thing at the same exact time, about the same exact age as him. And I was like, hey, man, like when I went through that, like if you just hold on to the ball a little bit longer because your leg's tired, so it's not as fast, so your leg's slower. So if you hold on to the ball longer, the ball won't move on you as much. I was like, just think about that because I went through the same thing. And he was like, okay, thanks. And then he just kept it moving, And I jogged off the field and I was like, man, that's like a good deed of the day. Like, I was like, that's a good deed of the day. Like I was so like, man, I hope he listens to that. Like I was pretty.
Did his shit end? Did his streak end? That bad streak?
I don't know. I never followed up. I never ever
Well,
followed
the
up.
Colts picked him up and then he got cut. So you tell me, Sean.
Yeah, but he got cut to a kid who's really good. Rigo's really good. I'm excited for him.
Let's go. Hey, Rigo, man. If you listen,
Sanchez.
follow your boy back, man.
He's good, dude.
On Twitter, dog.
Are you
I
just-
thought we were boys.
Bro, hilarious. Is there anything else going on in the world that we should talk about? Reddit seems to be the front page of the internet. That's what every Reddit user says. Anytime I say anything about Reddit on Twitter, I get like 45 people that are like diehard Redditors, and they're like, front page of the internet, it's where everything starts. And I'm like, I know, but I feel like I'm not smart enough to keep up with you guys over there. There's so many options.
Yeah, in college, once we talked about all these different social medias, and they said Reddit is the most intelligent social media out there.
Oh, so this is all fucking pandering? I didn't know that.
It's a real thing.
No, it's basically Facebook without the vanity. Take away vanity and put in the facts. It's where everybody goes first.
The facts. Reddit. Okay, maybe I should dive into Reddit.
You should do an AMA.
Who?
That's like what, like, you have people go on there and it's Ask Me Anything.
I think the guy who founded Reddit sent me a tweet telling me I should do an AMA.
Yeah.
He's the one that's married to Serena Williams, right?
Yep. I think he done tweeted me one time.
By the way, big up to that guy.
Founded Reddit, then married the best female athlete of all time, probably.
Yeah.
Of all time?
That's called doing life
I think so.
properly.
She probably is.
I think
for
so.
Sure.
Just dominant. Absolute She's in that commercial with J.J. Watt and them and Matt Ryan. She's like, be on the receiving end of the world's largest upset in your sport. Yeah, that's because you're anytime you lost, it was like a fucking anomaly. It was breaking news. Serena Williams is almost about to lose. They cracked into. She did it.
With half those girls that play too, I think she could play like with her offhand and still beat them.
God. Did you see that Marshawn Lynch video whenever they asked him if he'd play Serena Williams while she's pregnant? And he said, that's an unfair advantage. And they said that she's pregnant. And he said, no. Word I can't say. That it's Serena Williams. It was hilarious. Anyways.
The U.S. didn't make the World Cup, and now Italy didn't. Who the fuck do I root for now?
Bro, is that real? So there's no Italians and there's no American? We should create our own World Cup. Maybe it would be like Bellator or like TNA. Maybe like we just go against the World Cup. Let's go. You know what? And you can grease our pockets a little bit if you want to host it. If you want to build the stadiums and you want to host it, you can definitely pay us to have it. I think we should do that. Not a bad idea. Jesus Christ. Who's going to... I mean, I guess people are going to watch. I was about to say... Who's going to watch? Yeah, that's what I asked. Jesus, the most ignorant comment on... I'm a fucking idiot, bro.
Jesus, bro. Step the fuck up, dude.
Do you watch the World Cup?
Actually, I did last time. That was the first time I got into soccer and started actually seeing how they run plays and shit and watching it overall.
I fucking love it,
I feel like FIFA has really changed the way people view like international soccer, because that's like the club soccer, the people that are really dialed in either to an MLS team or an English Premier League team or whatever. Those people are like the real loyalists. But the people who like FIFA, I think, very much enjoy when the U.S. takes on international teams. That's why it's such a blow to soccer that they didn't get in the World Cup. It's such a gigantic. It's not being talked about enough how big of a fucking shot at soccer in America that was.
That's what he said. The Christian Pulisic, who's like supposed to be like our next
He's the future.
Stud, dude.
He is outrageously good.
He wrote a Players Tribune article today and basically said like, we need to grow, like the youth development in U.S. soccer is absolutely terrible and it needs to change, otherwise we're never going to be relevant.
The dude who's the fucking nicest dude that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, and I guess
And he's only 19.
people were taking shots at him because he plays in Germany and stuff.
But
like
that makes them better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why he's so fucking good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's interesting.
People taking shots, they're reading headlines.
know.
They don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
I do want to let you guys know, one person in this room has played soccer at an international level. One guy has scored a goal against the French in the middle of Paris
Go ahead, keep building me up.
and almost got threatened by a team from France. Ended up with cleats in his chest. I've got a chance to play a little international soccer.
So the French didn't just run away.
No, they put their cleat right in my fucking chest.
Not a beam, though. It could have been a beam.
Could have been a beam.
Bro, in the American football, you get beams. In the international football, you get cleats. You know
Now,
what I mean?
what'd you do? Did you retaliate?
Dude, I had a wee moment. I had 6. What is soccer? 8?
Well, there's no toe.
So it's 6. It's a 6'5". I had every single round Adidas Copa Mundial cleat, circle cleat, right in the middle of my chest. This dude literally just came fucking Big Show, stomped to the face like I'm running across it. I almost lost my.
I would have woke up out of that daze, went over there and beat the fuck out of that
Dude,
pussy.
they came out and Jesus, yeah, very
A
much.
French soccer player? Those guys aren't exactly jiu-jitsu champions.
I don't know. Did you see Zidane just headbutt?
He headbutted people, man. The French are dirty. They were dirty at soccer.
I think soccer players are dirty.
Yeah, I was an asshole. I was very hateable in soccer.
They are.
I was very hateable. I mean, I had to shave my legs because people hated me so much they would start pulling my leg hair, like when I was standing next to them. And I was very hateable. Well, I was pretty fucking good though.
Yeah.
God damn, I had a good time out there.
You were the biggest guy on the pitch too.
By
weren't you?
far.
Yeah, so no one was fucking
Great
bullying
usage
you.
of pitch.
Oh, look at this
by the
guy
way.
dropping this.
Look at that guy.
Look at this guy.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Sports
What,
University.
you put your kid on to go on the pitch, cuz? Jesus. Hey, listen, guys. Looking good doesn't need to cost a fortune. 5-4 Club is revolutionizing the way men shop. Is that right, Diggs?
It's so right. Speaking of kits, they deliver you phenomenal kits.
Each month, they send you a curated package of clothes that are handpicked to match your style. They know what they're doing, so you don't have to. It's completely okay if you have no idea how to dress yourself. Ain't that right, Diggs?
It's so right.
5-4 Club will help you build your wardrobe 1 month at a time. You can pause or cancel anytime you would like. Go to 54club.com right now and enter promo code Heartland. That's HEARTLAND at FIVEFOURCLUB.com right now, and they will give you 50% off your first month's package plus a free pair of sunglasses. That's 50% off your first package and free sunglasses at 54club, spelled FIVEFOUR club.com, promo code Heartland. 54club.com, promo code Heartland. Incredible deal there. You love them.
Yeah, I wear it probably 3 or 4 days a week. The other 3, I wear Heartland stuff. It's the easiest.
It's so good. You do look good too. Some days you're super high fashion, and it's because that's your style. They tailor to your style. That's how you wanted the dress.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fashion forward.
Of course you are. Did you see that scarf last week on Cuzzo here?
Oh, scarf with the jacket in the office.
In
committed,
the office.
Scarf, quilted jacket.
Committed to warmth and comfort.
Most lovable at Tactical Digs thing on earth. Unbelievable. And then he continues to take a shot at how we don't know fashion. I loved it. All right. Thank you to at Tactical Digs for the play clock with at Tactical Dig. What a rundown. At Sean Latham, happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to make sure if anybody's free on November 30th, I'll be at Morty's for another episode of Morty's After Dark.
Was that a plug there?
That's a little
This
plug.
guy
for my
never
next show.
forgets a plug.
How about $20 chef?
Hey, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock. You know, people know they're on the sketch now. We're going.
Speaking of Omaha steaks, you made some Cuban Omaha steaks and eggs that were absolutely to die for.
Yeah, that's on tomorrow's episode. Everybody's going to get a
It
look.
was one of the best meals I've ever eaten in my entire life. You marinated the steaks in simple, cheap fashion.
Chili verde sauce.
Bang. Made
That's
an
it.
entire meal. He will show you how to do it, how to eat it, how to flirt, how to live.
We flirt and learn how to fight hangovers.
Hey, what do you sweat, cuz?
We don't sweat honeys. We don't sweat the technique. We only sweat veggies.
That's it, cuz. Don't sweat the technique. Hilarious. Happy birthday, man. At Ty Schmidt, TIE Schmidt. At Evan Foxy, the Foxy one. Hey, cuzzo.
What's up, boss?
It just feels like your microphone is like weaker than everybody else's.
Maybe it's my voice.
Oh, wow. And you just tried to
Nice.
get higher there. Did you hear him? He just tried to get a little bit higher there. How was your weekend, Foxy?
Very, very good. I just lived my life. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was very good. I just lived my life. At Tactical Digs would like to say something?
Your boy in the back there, Ty,
Yep.
surprised me greatly this weekend.
Why? Was he singing at the concert?
No, but his dance moves, fire.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Really? He can dance, huh?
I tell you what, your office can dance.
I feel good about us in a dance contest with damn near
Ty Zito busted out a move. JB After Dark kills it. Sean, obviously.
Sean actually told me the only reason he goes out is to tear up dance floors.
That's it. That's all I go for. I'm not out here trying to meet random chicks. And
Nope.
You know, we all have a circle of homies. We just work. We just drink some drinks and we dance, cuss.
That's it.
And that's all I do. I live my life.
Likey like.
If I'm not allowed to come in the back door again, I go right out of the front door.
Subscribe, scribe.
And I come right back in. Like it up.
All right. Foxy, I'm happy you just lived your life this weekend. Bud.
Thanks, Pat.
At Ty Schmidt, I'm happy you dominated a dance floor. Hope you had a blast today. I truly do. Tonight at 5 p.m., the Barstool Heartland office is going to Call of Duty War with the New York Barstool headquarters. 5 o'clock, game time app. I have no idea what any of that means. I have no clue. I never played video games, but apparently a lot of people in this office and a lot of people in the New York office want to play. And I guess we're battling at 5 o'clock today, 5 p.m. I will not be in it, but I will be a general. I will be leading the men into the battlefield of Call of Duty, and hopefully that'll work out. Speaking of gaming, I got a chance to have a conversation last week with a lady who's basically emerging as the face of the gaming community. She hosts a bunch of shows. She loves video games. And this conversation was incredibly enlightening. I think you're going to enjoy it. Here's a convo with Michelle Morrow, gaming host, celebrity, and really cool person. And I can't wait to talk to you on Thursday. Cheers. Joining me now from the West Coast. Where are you? Washington?
Los Angeles.
You're in Los Angeles. Wow, I forgot about. And the reason why she's in Los Angeles is because she is a legit superstar. I did not know anything about this. I don't know the gaming community, but I am very intrigued to get into this conversation. She's a superstar on YouTube Red. She has a show called Good Game. She's found in Blizzard Entertainment, esports, and many, many more appearances in both digital series and independent films. She's a Seattle Mariners baseball fan, hates basketball. You can find all things Michelle Morrow at michellemorrow.com. And I just cannot wait to get into this conversation. Thank you so much, Michelle Morrow. All right.
Thanks for having me, dude. What an intro. I feel so honored.
Okay, so I am very lucky to have you because this is like a world that I know very little about. I went to a Gen Con here in Indianapolis, so I kind of got a chance to feel such a positive vibe of people. Like everybody seems so happy in the gaming community. Is that true?
I mean, yeah, I think at a convention itself, absolutely, because people are there in person, so it's like when you're online, it's easier when you're playing games, just kind of be a dick and like be anonymous. But like at a convention itself, it holds people accountable to each other. So conventions are great. So do you not play games?
No, I don't play games, Michelle.
None at all?
No games, Michelle. I don't play any games.
I mean, video games. We're talking video games. None?
I played. So my brother was really good at like Call of Duty and Madden and all that stuff growing up. And he wouldn't let me just win it all. So, like, I played Madden one time.
Were you the little brother?
Yeah, and I just got my ass kicked, so I hated it. So he plays, and I never got a chance to really enjoy it. How did you get into it? You're a very beautiful lady.
Thank you.
You are, like, the face, like a personality of the gaming world. I assume you're an incredible gamer yourself. How did you get into it?
Wow. Well, I mean, my parents, when I was, like, a kid, they always had computers and stuff. So we always got to... we had like a Commodore 64 and Atari and NES, like all that growing up.
Atari, respect.
Yeah. Didn't you play Atari and stuff?
No, bro.
No. He's
No
like,
games.
Nope. I'm going to catch him. So at one point, he's going to be like, I one time went to a Chuck E. Cheese and played an arcade.
I didn't, yeah. Now that I'm an adult, I'm hindsight looking at it, I'm wondering why my parents were so adamant against me going to a Chuck E. Cheese. Kind of freaks me out.
You know the same guy that founded Chuck E. Cheese is the same guy who founded the Atari?
That makes sense. That makes sense, Michelle. It makes a lot of sense. That guy is very rich, by the way. In the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese, I've eaten the pizza. People have brought the pizza out of a Chuck E. Cheese, and I've eaten it at my house. Good pizza, too. So that guy made good video game and good fucking pizza. Good for him.
Double whammy. He's doing all right.
He's okay.
Right. Yeah. But I got back into it. My boyfriend at the time, 10 years ago, my current husband, he had a PlayStation 2 at his house, and so I started ripping through his God of War games. I like the game, the franchise God of War, and I at the time had been severely injured in a stunt accident on a film. So I had fallen on my head, and I was in this super sexy neck brace because we had just started dating, so it was like. It was awesome. It was like 8 months in, and it was like I had a neck brace, and so we were playing video games to kind of get through it. And like nice of him to have stayed with me through it, because it was about a year. So he said, "Well, why don't you play this game, World of Warcraft? Because it doesn't end. It's just kind of a game that kind of keeps going." And while I started to play games and started getting into other games, started hosting for different companies, because I've been an actress for years, and so a lot of people had asked me to host, review different apps and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. Like, sure, why not? I mean, there was a lot that I could do when you're in a neck brace. So I started writing articles for people like The Nerdist and Hello Giggles and a lot of these like digital startups that are doing a lot of big digital content now online. So it's kind of started out just kind of like that, just by being a fan in the community and loving it and talking about it. And since I did a lot of horror movies, there was kind of this weird crossover of horror fans and video game fans. It's a pretty tight knit little
same
group there.
demo.
Yeah, it's an interesting demo, so it kind of overlaps, and I just kind of found a really cool niche in there. And at one point, this company called Blizzard Entertainment asked me to host their convention in 2014. So this is my fourth year. I just finished convention.
It was at a fucking theater. It was at a theater. There was like thousands and thousands of people there. I just watched the video.
In Anaheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you watch some of it?
Well, I was sent over some of your stuff from your publicist, so I watched it. And there was thousands of fucking people at this thing, and I'm like, holy
Dude,
shit.
this year there were 30,000 people there, and Muse played.
Love that.
Yeah, it was cool. And they had 5 esports tournaments going on at the same time. So, like, I host this convention, and while it's going on, these giant esports conventions going on. So it's interesting to hear. I'm gonna be interested to hear what you think, being that you come from a sports background. So I want to know like what your thoughts on.
Hey, this is my show, Michelle. I ask the goddamn questions. Okay.
But I'm curious.
what if I think it's sport?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Like, I'll tell you a little bit more. I'm interested to hear what you think. So there's these 5 huge tournaments that are going on all at once, and there's 30,000 people watching. And this year alone, I mean, it makes more money. Esports in general, like not just BlizzCon, but esports in general makes more money than the NBA, the World Series, the NASCAR, the PGA Finals,
Wow.
the Stanley Cup Finals, all of it combined. The amount of money, prize pools that go out. Millions and millions in dollars are going to these kids that are like 16, 17 years old and are playing these tournaments. It's insane.
Good for these
Goodyear
kids.
was even there.
Good for these kids. And I believe my brother is a good video gamer, not a professional, but he was him and his friends would play. So I would watch them play. So I very much understand that there's levels to this shit. Like there's people that are really good and there's like loyal fans. So I completely understand it. But whenever I saw the thousands and thousands of people watching you, I was like, holy hell. Esports is at a whole new level right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just gone to a place where I didn't think it could go. Like I hosted there was this one called Heroes of the Dorm back in 2015, and it was ESPN
Clever name.
put it on the air. Yeah, right. And so what it did is it had all college students could compete for college tuition. So whoever won college tuition for the rest of the college careers, which is pretty dope. So like these kids like went around and like formed these teams real quick, got on this huge tournament, and then Blizzard partnered with ESPN2, and now they're playing in front of this global audience, and people are watching on ESPN2 and tweeting like, "What am I watching? Like, what the hell is this? Like, why are there dragons?" And
I don't understand shit about any of it, and I also don't understand anything about what's that show on Sundays? You probably love this show. What is it? Game of Thrones. You love Game of Thrones?
Of course, I love Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
see, I ain't never seen it, but I watched a couple episodes of this last season, and I see dragons blowing fire and like brothers having sex with sisters and stuff, and I'm like, yo, this is wild. But I am
It's like a niece thing, but yeah, it was weird.
It was a niece thing. Is that what you just said? Like it wasn't a
Yeah,
brother?
I mean, it wasn't brother sister. It was niece. It was weird. We've come a long way, okay? Like season 1, we were like, oh my god, so gross, incest. And now we're kind of like, all right. It's been a weird turn.
But this community though is an active community. It's a loyal community, and it seems to be like a fucking great time community. The Gen Con thing here is the second largest convention in Indiana. It's like the largest. It's table games. It seems like it's such a cool group of people. It's like.
What did you do when you were there? Like, did you play games?
So
did
what
you get demo stuff?
So I ate 2 edibles. And I walked in there with a camera, and you were speaking to somebody who literally has no idea about any of it. So I had a blast in there. Catan, is that a game? Catan?
Yeah, Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, I learned that game. There was like a big roll of the dice happening, so I thought it was like very craps-like, so I love that. And then there was another game where there was like people going to war. Like England was going to war with somebody else, and there was like a gun on the table. There's negotiations. I very much enjoyed it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I haven't been to that one before.
You need to come.
I know. It sounds like a good time. There's a lot of them.
I had an absolute blast. I have so many questions from before you hijack this interview to ask a question in the middle of it. I have a question. You fell on your head and broke your neck. What, you were an actor?
Yeah,
a stunt
I didn't break
woman?
it, but yeah, I had this thing called thoracic outlet syndrome. So my first rib and my clavicle,
How?
made it so, because I fell, and so when I fell on my head, I had an anatomical shift to the left, so it made it so like these 2 bones,
What the fuck is that?
like made it so this artery, I couldn't feel anything going down my arm, and so they had to remove half of my first rib.
Huh.
Yeah, no big.
Just an
They wouldn't let me
anatomical
keep it.
shift, huh? Just an anatomical shift to the left. Why did you fall on your head, though? What were you doing?
It was this dumb stunt thing. Like, I'd done this movie called Basement Jack. It was this horror movie. It was a lot of fun. It was the first time I'd had like this big starring role in something that had been slightly more money. It's still like a very low budget horror movie, but at the time, I was like, hell yeah! So, they said, hey, we're doing this behind the scenes stunt day. Do you want to go? And I was like, definitely. I did a lot of my own stunts. I didn't do like the falls and stuff, but I did a lot of the fights. So it's like for sure, and this facility had like free falls and like swings that go in circles and everything. And they had this thing called an air ram, and it's like a trampoline on hydraulics. So you step on it, it like throws you out. They use it for like explosions in movies and stuff. So it's like, oh, that looks cool, because it was kind of like really easy. People were like, yeah. Like, I was like, oh, I can do that. Like they're like, boo, shoo, like it's fun. As soon as I stepped on it, it just immediately launched me into the air about 15 feet.
That's like a video game, right?
Right on my head.
That's like a video game, though, right? That's like a video when you like.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. I
As
just
soon as you
totally
touch it,
failed that job. Like, I wish I could like been like, pause, start this one over, but it did not go that way.
Well, I'm sorry you got that injury. That sounds wild, but it led you into your current career.
Absolutely, right? It was weird. It's weird how things happen like that.
I got arrested and it launched through this one. So, I mean, broken.
Did you really?
Listen, that's a whole different story, Michelle. Thanks for listening to the show. It's a long time. So these conventions, because when Gen Con is here, every nightclub is rented out by some company, and there's people in costumes. They're partying hard. They're going hard till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. These things, this gaming community, this horror film community likes to have a great time. I assume since you're a leader of this community, you enjoy those types of things as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why not? I mean, how fun is it to go dress up in your favorite superhero for a day? I mean, people do it on Halloween and we get to do it once a year. So if there's an opportunity to do it again because there's a comic book convention or because there's a video game convention or because there's a tabletop convention, then why not? Like, I mean, it's fun, especially for families, they can bring their kids to it, something cool to do.
Yeah, get drunk with the kids.
Yeah, get wasted.
For like 3 years of my life, I dressed
Take
up.
those edibles.
Yeah, you're damn right. For like 3 years of my life, I dressed up like Hancock every night. Just didn't have any of the power. You know what I mean? Just didn't get.
Totally.
Yeah, that's the drunk one, Ty. For those of you that don't know gaming. So what is up with the furries? What's up with furries? That's your community too, right?
Well, I mean, I don't claim the furries.
Yeah, that's
They've
your
got
community
their own
though.
thing.
That is your community though. That is
Why
the game.
my community? Why can't it be your community?
Okay,
I've gone to football games and people like dress up like crazy and paint their faces. How's that different?
I would answer questions for them. So if you ask me questions about them, I would say those people have a rough week and their only outlet is on Sundays. And so they paint their faces, get wasted drunk, and go cheer for guys that they have nothing control of. Now, your turn with the furries. Let's talk about them.
Same, except for now they just go do it and they talk to other people and they talk to, I mean, look, if they get freaky on their own, that I have no control
that's what I
over
want to
that.
know. Them
That is
furries
not
are all
something
fucking, right?
I know anything about. Although there is this server on World of Warcraft. There's this server on World of Warcraft where it's called an ERP server, erotic roleplay.
Huh?
And people, I swear to God, people go on this thing. I made a character, so I had to see it. I was like,
Yeah,
what
of course.
is happening?
You're just
There
seeing
were
it.
there were 3 bears in a circle just talking with like one girl as a goat dancing in the middle. I went inside and there were like guys dressed as pirates. I mean, it was a whole thing. It's a whole situation
Is
happening
this
over there.
like Sims? I played Sims. It sounds like you're describing a Sims set. Like, is World of Warcraft, you like just go hang out in your character on the internet with other people?
Yeah, think like that, but like massive multi-millions of people. Like think like 6 million people are playing all at the same time, and any of them can pop in and out depending on what server you're on. So yeah, like Sims, but more people.
Holy fuck! What's the next big thing in the gaming world? What's the next big thing you're getting
well,
into?
the next big thing in the gaming world is Overwatch League for sure.
Who's
For
that?
Sure. So the Overwatch League, you should definitely know about it because it's all like sports dudes getting involved, like major sports guys, like
Okay.
Shaq and A-Rod and and J-Lo, and Jimmy Rollins from the Dodgers. They all like went in on this team called Energy, and so like okay, let me just step back for a second. There are
Talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old, because that's
Overwatch League.
yeah.
There's 12 teams.
Okay.
There's 2 divisions.
Okay.
And they compete to go into the championships.
All right.
Okay?
In what?
In this video game called Overwatch.
Oh fuck! This isn't the league. This is the game.
It's a game that has a league to it.
Jesus Christ! All right. Who's
So people have paid $20 million
what?
for franchises. So Robert Kraft from the Patriots bought a $20 million team. And
How many
Magic
players
Johnson.
of Overwatch are on a team?
How many players?
Yeah.
There's 6 main players and I think 4 alternates.
So there's 10
10
on a
total.
team, 20 million, and they're each getting paid.
I don't know how much each player is getting paid specifically. I know there was one kid, Sinatra, who's 16, 17 years old, that got signed for $150,000 for his first year, which is pretty big for, 16-year-olds.
These kids back in the day used to play video games, and everybody would be like, go outside and do something. They're like, no, we like this. My brother would do it. He'd play video games. He's like, I enjoy this. This is fun for me, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Nowadays, those same kids are getting $150,000 signing bonus.
Yeah.
They must be
Yeah.
superstars in their high school. Like the jocks, the kids are playing sports. The kids sitting at home like, you're a fucking idiot. What are you doing? You're tackling people? Yeah, man. I'm playing a video game, having a great time with my friends, and I just got 6 figures out of fucking nowhere. Good for them.
Yeah, right? It's crazy. I think like the Rick Fox. Rick Fox is another guy who started his own organization called Echo Fox. Magic Johnson co-owns a company with Team Liquid with the Wizards owner. Who else is in it? Mets COO Jeff Wilpon starting the New York team. Stevie Aoki owns the Vegas team. Ashton Kutcher owns Unicorn with Mark Cuban.
What?
Yep. Who else?
What is
here?
this? This is like getting in the weed game.
The 76ers bought controlling stake in Team Dignitas.
They ain't never gonna win. That team ain't never gonna win. That Dignitas team ain't never gonna win. I don't know much about them, but I know they ain't never gonna fucking win. That team ain't never gonna win. That's what I know. That's all I know. I love Philadelphia, but goddamn, they suffered enough. So what? So you're a personality for the gaming community. Is that like basically right?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Sure. Yeah, I do hosting and
Boy, you just bounced around to 4 different answers right there. I mean, it was like a not very certain. If I said that wrong, definitely correct me. What did you?
Well, sure. Yeah, I'm a host in the gaming community, so I do a lot of like moderating and presenting of games to, like with developers. So I interview a lot of developers, and then on the other side of it is I created this whole YouTube Red series that's like a TV show about esports and gaming. So I took everything that was ridiculous about this world, like you're laughing about, like the fact that just how just insane it is that a kid that's 16 is like making 6 figures, right? As a bonus. That's insane for playing video games. So we tried to write a series that would sort of celebrate and make fun of this crazy growing world as it's growing, because it doesn't know how to define itself yet. And like, there's no players union. There's no
Are players getting fucked over by ownership?
Oh my God, yeah. And the gambling's
What?
like out of control. Like the gambling is insane. Like in Korea, in South Korea, there's this kid named Life who is like this killer StarCraft 2 player. Like, and over there, by the way, it is legit their national sport.
South
Like, we're
Korea
like-
or North
we're
Korea?
like- yeah,
North
South,
Korea
South,
doesn't.
South. It's
South.
Pretty sure it's South.
Okay. North Korea, a lot of meth heads up there. They don't know that. Could be good in the gaming industry. I'm not sure. Okay, South Korea.
He's got this guy named Life, and he's like this huge star, and he's doing millions already. And these guys came to him and were like, "Look, man, throw this game, and we'll give you." I don't know exactly how much it was, but we're just gonna make up numbers here. We'll give you 30,000 extra if you throw it. And it was just a smaller game, and so he figured in his teenage brain, okay, well, sure,
I can
I'm not gonna
lose
get
for
out of the
30 grand.
finals. Right, like it's not going to get me out of the finals. It'll help somebody get into the thing. I might make like third place, but who cares? And so he made the deal through the game, and 11 dudes went to jail over it. And that's like crazy esports gambling. There was one with CS:GO Lotto recently where these YouTubers actually owned this gambling website for Counter-Strike Global Offensive and would drive their audience of teenagers who were underage to illegally gamble their skins away while they were watching these esports events. It was madness.
What? This is a fucking black market of just fuckery. I didn't know that.
Yes, it's bananas. There's crazy shit going on. Or crap, sorry. Oh, can I say it? Sorry. Crap.
I've said fuck no less than 45 times. No less. I don't think if we were doing math, I don't think there's any. I am so intrigued by this. So Life was Adam Sandler in The Longest Yard.
Sure.
You don't know what that means. Do you watch sports?
I mean, I do, but I don't know. I don't watch Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, what? What? Listen.
I mean,
listen.
Really watch him
Wait a fucking minute.
It's been a while.
Adam Sandler pre-sellout was incredible. Let's just talk about that.
Where's that line?
It's a long time ago. It's a long time ago.
Longest Yard was the last good one.
Yeah, Longest Yard probably. This movie. Okay. He was a quarterback that threw a game, and then he ended up in jail. Then he played in jail. Then he got tempted to throw a game again. So Life's... What's that?
In jail?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's so similar.
Is Life in jail?
I don't know if he's still in jail. At the time, it was a couple years ago.
Life needed to get life.
You need to get life sentence.
Cheating. 30 grand, fucking over the kids. All right, so I saw you breaking down apps in some... You talk about video game app. What's your favorite video game app that I could potentially do and make a lot of money?
Video game app? Well, what kind of genre do you like?
Okay, so I got this backflip ninja game I play where I have to tap the screen one time. He jumps. I have to tap it again. He begins his flip, and then I have to tap it again for him to land it. And there's only 5 levels, and I've mastered them all. It's probably my favorite game.
Okay, so you like challenges.
I also like word searches. That's why I like Wheel of Fortune more than Jeopardy.
Well, there's this really cool game called The Room. And it has 4 parts to it, I think now. But it's one of these crazy games that you could just put your headphones in and you solve the puzzles of it, and it's crazy. You have to go into this.
It's called what? The Room?
The Room.
How much is it?
I think it's $4.99.
Are any of the motherfuckers that own that throwing games so that I'm gonna get fucked over on The Room?
I don't think this one could be.
Are you pitching a Ponzi scheme right now, Michelle?
No.
Unbelievable. Who's the best gamer on earth? Is that decided, or is there so many different genres? Is there people that
different genres? Yeah, it'd be comparing Wayne Gretzky to Magic Johnson. How you could.
Well, one beat AIDS, one didn't. So I would say Magic Johnson is better than Wayne Gretzky. There, if I had to guess, that's what I would.
Okay. So then Kobe Bryant.
Okay, I like that. He got away. Yeah, he beat Colorado. Something in Colorado happened in a hotel room, and he got around it. But what is the most popular game that Call of Duty? Is that a gigantic game that people compete against?
Absolutely, yeah. Call of Duty's huge. Call of Duty is known for having really cool concerts too. They usually get Snoop and cool DJs to play Steve Aoki and stuff.
Snoop Loop.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty's thriving. Rocket League is doing really well, which is funny because it was kind of a little indie game that the community loved and decided this is going to be an esports, and it's just cars.
Are you a high up member of the E community? Are you a member of the Illuminati? Are you Illuminati of the E community? I want to hear it.
The E community?
That's what you just said. You said it was an indie little game that the people in the business basically liked, Rocket League, and now it's
in the community. Yeah, in the community. Well, the community is just the gaming community. They decide if something's look, a game developer could come in and they could say, we want this to be an esport. Mm-hmm. But it's up to the fans if they actually want to watch it or not, right? And sometimes the game companies don't know that they're making an esport. Sometimes they think they're just making a game. Rocket League was one of those. So it's just a large outcry of people. It's not just one.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you're
gonna
definitely in the
comment
Illuminati.
on the Illuminati.
Yeah, you're definitely in the Illuminati community. You're the member of the Illuminati. Good for you. That's awesome. That's probably. Did you ever imagine that this is what you were going to be doing for a full-time living when you were a kid? Didn't you play softball growing up?
I did. I played softball up through my first year of college, and then I got to college, and it was a lot of work. It was like really early morning, and I was a pinch runner, and that was not going to happen.
Oh, you got good speed. You got speed. You can run.
I was, yeah, but I played second base all through. I played, varsity and stuff all through college. I played since I was, I think, 5 years old. So, I grew up watching Mariners games with my dad. We used to always go to the Kingdom. I watched the Kingdom implode, actually, when I was in Seattle. It was really cool. It was like a whole event to go to. I remember hating A-Rod because he wanted all of his own merchandise stands, and when he left, we became the most winning team in baseball at that time. So
Fuck you, A-Rod, with your turtleneck.
Screw you. But now he owns an esports team, so maybe he's making the right moves.
A-Rod Corp owns everything, by the way. Just for Alex Rodriguez owns everything. I learned that on Shark Tank. Sorry, you can go back to your story.
Does he?
Yes.
Is that on Shark Tank?
Yeah, he's on Shark Tank. He is on Shark Tank. Alex Rodriguez is on Shark Tank, so he owns everything. He literally, when they introduce him, they're like, all of our sharks have been self-made millionaires over again. And then A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, founder of A-Rod Corp, owns 50,000 fucking apartment complex, 4,000 gyms, ice shaker. Now he has he does everything. A-Rod owns everything.
Jesus.
Yep.
I had no idea.
All because the Mariners paid him. That's why.
Yeah, they paid him huge.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really I kind of backed out of it as much because there's so much to focus on with esports. But I was watching the World Series recently because it was the Dodgers, of course. So, and there's a guy named Brandon Morrow who's the pitcher. So that I wish I was related to him so I could get tickets, but we're not related.
What an angle you're just not that you're pulling for him just by the name. Strictly for tickets. Strictly for tickets. Why not? What are the ticketing for those big time games? Those tournaments? Is that people sitting bleachers? What is it?
What do you mean? You're what?
Whenever a Call of Duty tournament happens, do people sit? Is it in an arena? How the fuck does it?
Sometimes, okay, so for League of Legends Worlds, I went to. It filled the Staples Center. It was like a concert, and they all played in the middle. So think like a hockey match, or think like
game.
Yeah, just think like a hockey game, okay? And in the center, they have on one side you've got one team, and on one side you've got the other team. And they've got these screens in front of them that are huddled that are like GoPros of their faces, so you can see their faces projected onto the fronts of their desks. And then on the field in the middle of where you would play basketball or hockey or whatever, that they project down a map of the game so that all of the people watching can view the game and see what is happening.
Is there drugs? What drugs are there's so many drugs. I bet you this is not a very sober atmosphere.
I don't think so. Yeah, people are having a good time.
What are the I could imagine if I'm watching a video game happen in front of me, I'd probably enjoy it too. The gamers, do they get drug tested?
Yes, there's a lot of that because there was a lot of Adderall going on for a while to keep guys up. So yeah, there's drug testing before every match.
They got to go with meth.
And they test their equipment to make sure that there's no bots and stuff on it, to make sure that there's no aim bots to help them aim. Yeah, there's all these cheating methods that they can use because it's technology. So you could just they've got to check everything. They check your mouse. They're everything. I
didn't know nerds are trying to cheat shit. I always thought nerds were super wholesome people. Now they got to check them for fucking super nerding on
These aren't just nerds. These are competitors. These are people who are trying to win lots of money by playing a game. They'll do anything. There's been some bad guys. But some of it's all right.
Life's a bad guy.
Life screwed it up.
11 people going to jail because of life. Yikes. All right, well, Michelle, I appreciate you. I want to get out to one of these tournaments.
You should come. Well, you're in Indianapolis. Is that where you're based?
Yep, right here in America.
If you come to also America, which is Los Angeles, there's an arena here. There's an arena here that they just built for Blizzard, and they're starting the preseason for Overwatch League December 10th, I think. And then that's when the preseason is, and then the regular season is in January. It begins, and then the finals are in July.
And Blizzard is a sports league.
Blizzard Entertainment is it's so Activision. If you've heard of Activision before, it's Activision Blizzard is a company, and then they own this Blizzard esports arena and this Overwatch League I told you about with like Robert Kraft and the Mets guys and A-Rod and everybody. That they have teams in it.
Well, I can't wait to get out to one of those. I feel like I've learned so much. The amount of knowledge you've dropped on me today is very, very
You're like
appreciated.
that emoji of like the brain exploding.
Yep. Like the one where Zach Galifianakis has all the question marks going around him. That's how I feel right now after all this. I have so many questions. I could literally talk to you for 2 hours, but I can't because we have a
You
show.
have to watch my show, and you'll get more answers from it because it's on YouTube Red right now, and it's available. You can get like the free trial, and you can binge it. And it's only 6 episodes, and I'll tell you lots about esports. And it's funny. It's like we produced it with Dan Harmon, and we have writers from Rick and Morty. So
nice.
You should watch it.
Really good plug right there at the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just had to get that in there, buddy.
Slide it in. Well, Michelle, I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to check that out on YouTube Red. I can't wait to come watch a thingy. A match? A game? A battle? Who?
Competition is fine.
All that. I cannot wait. I thank you so much for joining. I think my people are really going to enjoy this. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Michelle Morrow.
Bye, guys.